Viven en un country, andan en BMW para arriba, los fines de semana se cogen a las mejores minas, morfan bien todos los días. El día anterior al partido durmieron tranquilamente en un hotel 5 estrellas y se rascaron la verga durante 24 horas sin hacer nada, jugando al ping-pong y al pool y a la play. Juegan al fútbol todos los días de su vida. Los botines, $6.000, $5.000, no sé cuánto salen, ponele 3.000 mangos, 4.000 mangos, están vendados por un kinesiólogo. Están bien comidos, están bien entrenados. Las medias, que son las que no te cortan la circulación, los pantaloncitos, que son los de los huevos, que no te raspan los huevos, la camiseta te estira la espalda, es la que no transpira, que sale 800 pesos, no sé cuánto sale una camiseta para jugar al fútbol. La pelota es perfecta, 120 euros. Inflada con un barómetro a 8 bares. La cancha no tiene un solo pozo. El arco tiene 7,20 metros por 2,40. Te aplauden cuando salís a la cancha. La concha de tu madre, no sabés parar una pelota. Le vas a pagar al arco y la tirás a la mierda. Le vas a hacer un pase a tu compañero que está a 1 metro. Y así se la pasás mal. Hijo de puta, eso me puede pasar a mí con esta panza. No a vos.
Yeah, that seems accurate. That seems fucking accurate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. If you're a Chelsea fan, I hope you're still alive. If you're a rival fan, well, I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, you guys already know what to do. Smash up the like, subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you're watching this in the future. Check out the links in the description, all that fun stuff. Memberships helps us out tremendously. Pretty much that video was all I can think about after this game today. These players get paid God knows how much. They get the best treatment in the world, the best housing. They live in the best part of the world. They're pretty much celebrities. They, live a lavish lifestyle, unless you're N'Golo Kante, right? And decide to turn up when they're 2-0 down against a side that is relegated, essentially. And I know most of you guys have come on here before and seen me what I did last week, and I still had hope that Chelsea can still get to the UCL. And don't get me wrong, I do still have hope, but that hope is ever so hanging on by a thread at this point. And it's not even dependent on Chelsea, it's dependent on everyone else. So I'm at a point where you just have to get lucky as shit. I might as well go and play the lottery. I might as well hit some scratch offs. Who knows? Maybe I make $3, $4 here, maybe $10 if I'm really lucky. But that's what Chelsea's, faith now depends on. Luck. Listen, guys, I turned off that game. I made the thumbnail. I sent the links out to the boys. They're backstage. They'll come on in a moment and they'll have their say. I went, had band practice, enjoyed myself there, made some music, got ready for a show I'm performing next Friday. By the way, if you are in Jersey, check that out on our Instagram. Also, links to the music down below in my link tree. Had a good time. Came back, said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna have myself a nice succulent Chinese meal." I did. I had some nice house special fried rice. I de-stressed a little bit. Because this club has me fucking stressed. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I got some gray hairs on me, and I'm not fucking happy about it. And I'm thinking, that one was Levi Colwell. This one was Nicholas Jackson. This other one was fucking Pedro Neto. And these three here are from the amount of times that Jadon Sancho just didn't fucking shoot the ball. It's hard being a Chelsea fan right now, and yeah, and it's not easy to try to have a, I guess, realistic point of view. I'd like to believe I'm pretty realistic about how I see things, and I have a balanced view of things, but as a result of that, I come out to you today and say that it's very likely now that we really actually don't make UCL. You couldn't beat Ipswich. I said you need 3 games, and I think with 3 games is enough. You can just scrape UCL. And by 3 games, I mean wins. We didn't beat Brentford. We didn't beat Ipswich. We could beat Fulham. Maybe we could beat Everton. But I don't expect us to win the other 4. So that's not 3 games. That's 2 games. So, listen, it's not done. But it's done. You need to pull off a miracle at this point. And yeah, it's a fucking disappointing season. It's not over, but it's disappointing if it ends this way. I'm not Maresca out. I'll tell you that right now, because the issue far suppresses Maresca at this point. You got to look at the people that appointed him. You got to look at the people that appointed the previous manager. You got to look at the fact that first, less than 5 minutes into the game, our striker hits the post. And then what does he do for the rest of the game? He kind of disappears. Yeah, he links up play. He starts some counterattacks and all this and that. That's great. I love that. But where's the striker that's going to give me the goals when I need to get those goals? In fact, I'm sorry. Like I said, I just had practice. My voice is kind of gone. But let's go over the game. Chelsea put out a pretty strong lineup, barring a missing Reece James. You got Chalobah right back, Tosin, Levi Colwell, Cucurella, Enzo, and Caicedo, who were fully rested for this game. Fully rested. 7 days rest. Cole Palmer, Nani Madueke, Pedro Neto, Nicholas Jackson. From the first fucking pass that Robert Sanchez already set the tone. Gave it away on his first chance. And I'm thinking here, oh my fucking God, this is the type of game we're going to have now. This is how it's going to go. Luckily, it didn't go that way. We'll analyze, and we'll see if I can put a lot more blame on Sanchez than I am, which is pretty much not too much. But I look at the game. I look at how we were creating chances. We were knocking on the door for the first, 20 minutes or so. And then at the first opportunity that Ipswich get, once again, Levi Fraudwell jeans in the back. This guy. Not paying attention to his surroundings. Of course. And what? Is Tosin communicating with him? Who knows? Cucurella is catching up because he has to invert. And they score a goal. Maybe Robert Sanchez should have done a better job, but they score a goal off that. And what does the team do for the rest of that half? They sit back and they're like, okay, surely one of them is going to come out of position, right? And that'll make an opening. We'll create a chance from pulling them out. They're going to press us, right? Like, this is going to continue on like the rest of the match, like what Maresca said, right? They're going to press us, right? That continued on for fucking 25 more minutes. And by then, by the way, they scored another goal. A second one, which Honestly, I need to refresh my mind of what the second one was like, but it was near identical as far as I remember. It was not nice. They shouldn't have scored that second one. Okay. Fucking bullshit. And what do? And this is the only part where I'm going to put it on Maresca, even though Maresca has a lot to blame for a few other things, probably, and we'll discuss it. How come McKenna for Ipswich had one game plan, and then when he gets the goal, automatically the team already knew to go to plan B, which was don't press them anymore, let them have the ball and just defend, low block, do a counter. Where in the beginning they were pressing us. They were trying to get some play in there. They did counterattack us, and that's how we started bleeding. But when we go one down, we stick to the original plan. We don't know what to do. And this is where Maresca fucking say something. Fucking do something. Direct them. Do something. But maybe this is where the inexperience kicked in. And maybe this is where the inexperience on the pitch kicks in. Because maybe some experienced players, maybe some better experienced players, I should say that. Let me rephrase myself. Maybe some better experienced players like a Thiago Silva, like a Jorginho, like a, I don't know, fucking a Costa type or someone who's of caliber in the attack, right? Says, okay, they're clearly giving us the ball. We have to make something out of this. We have to create something. Plan B. Let's execute a plan B. Did you go in there with such stubbornness, with such pride in yourself that you thought your plan B, your plan A was good enough that it couldn't possibly fail? We go into the second half. He changes it up. It took until getting into the locker room and literally explaining to these players, guys, this isn't working. Do something else now. Go. They do something else. We start off, hit the gates running. Cool. Own goal. Cucurella gets in there. Boom. Lovely. Cool. We're in this now. Let's try to get back. And you know what? A few minutes pass on. We're knocking on the door. Nothing happens. We don't have a clinical attacker. We don't have a clinical striker. The team isn't built right. We have clowns at the defense who conceded 2 horrible goals. Let's have it right. We conceded 2 shit goals to an Ipswich side, a relegated Ipswich side. We rested our midfield. We took a risk in not playing Caicedo and Enzo, right? It paid off. And we took a risk because we don't have backups for them, right? We don't have proper midfield backup for them. Just to play them in this game, just to get 1 point out of Ipswich. And then I'm looking at the attack, thinking, fucking Neto, what are you doing? Thinking, fucking Madueke, well, at least you're attacking, but goddamn. Palmer, you were linking up play, but where the fuck is the Cole Palmer of last season? Where is this player gone? Every shot blocked. One shot over the net. Dropping all the way down to the 6 to pick up the ball sometimes. And I'm not even saying he was the cusp of our problems, but like, it's like I forget he's even on the pitch sometimes. Let's be real. I forget he's even on the pitch sometimes. Nicholas Jackson, linking up play, starts a counterattack, and nothing comes of it. He wasn't doing enough either. Every time we're crossing a ball, where is he? Nowhere to be found for it. And then finally we make some subs. And I'm over here pissed off thinking, why the fuck did you take off Madueke, the only one that is trying to score of our wingers? Why don't you take off Neto? And then I realized, oh yeah, because Madueke, we don't have the depth, right? We don't have another goal-scoring winger that can come on because we didn't recruit one. So he has to come up because he just came back from injury and he can't play a full 90. So now I'm thinking, fuck, well, this is done. I got silenced, don't get me wrong. Got proven wrong. Jaden, good for you. But also, Jaden, where the fuck was that all fucking season? Why now? when we're this late into the season, when we've been in this much shit form, did you decide, oh, I'm going to fucking shoot? Everyone knew you could do this. We've seen you do it at Dortmund. Now you decide, oh, I'm going to get my shooting boots on and I'm going to score a worldie for socials and the cameras. Why not? Yeah, we have to play for Champions League. Before it wasn't that important, but now it's like fucking children with ADHD. You want to just procrastinate, and then up until the point where you actually need to do it, now you risk the fact that you might fail the fucking class unless you ace every single fucking thing. And guess what? These tests coming up, they're not fucking easy tests now, are they? Dumb fucks. So now he decides to shoot. And it's a great goal. Great. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. We can make this comeback. Let's do this. It's not the greatest fucking way to win the match, but let's win the match. And please, someone, please, tell me why. Why the fuck does Flecken, why the fuck does Palmer, all of a sudden, when they play Chelsea Football Club, become prime Gianluigi Buffon? What the living shit? Fucking Manuel Neuer. 2010 World Cup out there. No, 2014. My apologies. 2014 World Cup performance. We had chances. I can't be that upset with the attack. There were chances. There were some world-class saves. And we got unlucky. But how many times can I say that we got unlucky? At some point, something's got to give. Something's got to give. And the fact that I'm saying we got unlucky against Ipswich is ridiculous. Not to say this is new. You know, you could say this game is our last season's Sheffield United. This game is 2 seasons ago's West Brom, where they did a double on us when we had just won, when we were winning the Champions League that season. But regardless, this is the time of the fucking season where we need to pick up these points. These are guaranteed wins. They're supposed to be guaranteed wins. And now I'm here doing this, getting pissed off, we're looking at having a similar season to Pochettino. And at one point, I can't necessarily blame the manager entirely. Look at what the fuck he's working with. Look at what he's working with. You can see the tactics. You can see what he's trying to do. The substitutions paid off. He's making do with what he can. I'm sure some of you are going to say, oh, well, Poch didn't get that excuse. Well, Poch didn't have tactics. Let's be honest. Poch ran a lot of players to the ground. Okay, he didn't help himself. Yes, I have a little bit more sympathy now for Poch because of what these players are showing me. But goddamn it, you just hired a delivery boy for your pizzeria to deliver pizzas. He's new. This is his first ever job, and you're expecting 5-star service. And not only that, you didn't even give him a car to do the deliveries with. He has to walk or get on a bike and do it. Yeah. You're not necessarily giving him the tools to succeed. All right. I've done enough talking. Big up every single one of you. Smash up the like button. Thank you for being here. Let's talk about this game. And let's introduce the panel. Big up everyone. We got Ladimus Prime. We got the Bridge Nation. We got Scott in here, Oliver Twist, and Real Chris. And then we have music in the background. So let me do that as well. All right. I'm sure I've said plenty of things. I'm sure I've said things that you guys probably share the sentiment with. And I'll start off with Prime. Prime, talk to me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think Prime wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, Prime wasn't.
Oh, I thought you'd go to Scott first.
Cool. Let's go to Scott first.
Oh, great. Fuck you start with that, man. Like, Champions League finished. That's first of all. That's done. That's finito. It's now out of our hands completely. With the Newcastle win today. It's out of our hands entirely. Like, even if they got a draw today, all they'd have needed to do was then draw against Palace, and they would have been above us. Yeah, like there's nothing you can draw from this game in terms of positives. There's nothing. I dare someone to try and do the toxic positivity bullshit. I'm really not in a mood for it today. Yeah, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. There's no positives you can bring. I will say I don't put the defeat on the manager, but he's still doing things that piss me off. And ultimately, when you drop points to the third worst team in the league, who are guaranteed to be relegated, by the way, yeah, there's really like no defending him, to be honest. But it's just shit. Like we're not good. Like we're not good at all, and it's not even about us just being not good. The mentality isn't there, and it hasn't been the whole season. That's been a recurring issue, and it keeps coming back. We still lack quality in certain areas. We still lack difference makers. We still lack we lack floor raisers, never mind ceiling raisers in certain areas. It's just shit. Like, it's really just shit. And I genuinely don't see us getting a win from now to the end of the season. In the league, I mean.
Chris?
Wait, you don't...
This was the easiest team for us to beat, quick. This was the gimme. This was the team that battered 3-0 and won comfortably.
It's quite annoying because like our attack hasn't been doing a lot the last like 3 or 4 games, right? And then they finally did something like that. They create chances they actually put back in net. If it wasn't for their keeper being on crack, like Marshall said, Alex Palmer, yeah, I thought he was unreal. I thought we could have won it today, obviously, but yeah, I thought our defense was a massive letdown. You know,
yeah, the wrong Palmer had a good performance today.
I don't think Palmer was like completely dog shit, but like I don't think he's like that bad. But like we can go and probably call Palmer afterwards. But yeah, like Chalobah, Tosin, they was obviously like not good enough today again. I didn't even think Cucurella defensively was that good today either. He got caught out, same as what's his name, Chalobah. I won't say Gusto, but Gusto wasn't there. Chalobah got caught out for the second goal as well. I thought defensively is just the reason why we lost points today as well, because yeah, like they just let the goals in. Obviously, one from the header and then one from the, I forgot the second goal, to be honest, at this point now. But yeah, Champions League, I don't know. I think we'll be damn lucky anyway if we get Champions League, because I still think we got 3 points behind Nottingham Forest, and they've been dropping a lot of points. I know, yeah, Scott, but like I still think we can maybe get a couple wins, you know, to the end of the season. I'm not saying we'll get many wins because we got a hard run as well. We got like Man United, we don't beat. We got Liverpool, we'll probably lose to them as well. And I think there's another hard game in there as well. We got Fulham next week, right, or something like that. So I don't know if we'll get Champions League, to be honest, but like, yeah, like I still think there's a slight chance in there, but it's dependent if we can beat Fulham as well. If we lose to Fulham, then I'll be on Scott's train, like saying there's no chance now, because if we can't get points against Fulham, well, 3 points against Fulham, then yeah, it's just not good enough. Because like I accepted the Brentford draw because we used a weaker team, but we used our main lineup and we rested players for this, and we rested Enzo, Cucurella, Caicedo, we rested Jackson. Yeah, we rested Jackson, I think. Yeah, he was not good enough. He had that one good chance, but he didn't really have many chances. But he just didn't really seem to get involved either in that attack. I don't think he was doing enough in that attack either. But yeah, it's quite depressing in a sense, because I thought we really needed Champions League this year. We ain't had it for like 2 seasons. If I'm right. I can't remember last time we've been Champions League.
Yeah, we haven't. This will be the 3rd season in a row we won't have had Champions League. It'll be the longest period we'll have gone. We'll have gone ever, I think. Outside of we will have matched Roman's longest period without being in the Champions League if we don't get Champions League this season.
And this is this new ownership has never been in Champions League. So how long will it take for them to be in Champions League? And this is down to the ownership as well, because we had no other striker to really like compete with Jackson. We had Mark Gu, but he's not really enough, and he's been injured. And Cuckoo's not a striker, and he's not good enough, I don't think so, all the season. Even though I thought he played pretty well when he came on for like 10 minutes, but yeah, like it's on the ownership of not getting a striker, another centre back. a backup to a left back to Kukureya as well. Like we bought a centre back who didn't want to play left back, basically. So it's why reasons why we're not getting top 4 Navy, top 5, I guess. But yeah, like it just sucks, obviously. But yeah, not else to really say about Chelsea's situation. It's just bad.
Oliver?
I just talking on the game today specifically. Like we'll get into the club stuff as a whole a bit later, I think. But today, it's on those defenders. I'm sorry, but I know Marshall. You talked about Sanchez starting to pretty much kicking the tempo off with a very bad attempt to play out the back, and that is a given. I accept that. Yeah, it wasn't good, and you know the fans in the stadium have every right to react the way that they did, regardless of what the manager says. And again, we'll get into what he said. But regardless of that, we were good for the first 15 or so minutes. We were peppering their goal. The finishing wasn't there, but the trend was positive. We should have been about 2-0 up, and if we carry that on throughout the
West
whole
London
first half,
ready to welcome Chelsea back home to Stamford Bridge and match day 2 of the.
What the hell?
Wait, that was part of the stream.
I just heard that. Yeah, what the hell was that?
Yeah, what was that? I think Marshall was trying to find. I think it was Marshall was trying to find the goals in that and didn't mute YouTube.
Okay. But as I was saying, like we were first 15-20 minutes, we were on a positive trend, and then on against the run of play, Colwell just messes us up for the first goal. Tosin a bit as well, but it's more on Colwell. He should be tracking that run, blocking the cross, and then by then, it's just the mentality of the squad and the fact that there's no calmness anywhere, or there is calmness, but only with select individuals. It doesn't radiate throughout the whole squad. We just lose our heads, and then we're 2-0 down, and by then you've already made it a challenge. You've got a team that are fighting relegation. I know they're 99% relegated, but they'll take any point they can get, let alone all 3, which they were on course to do at a certain point. And you just make it too difficult for yourself, and that's just really how I see it at the end of the day. If those defenders just do their job, it really is as simple as that. Just do your job and defend, and we're fine. Like, maybe we're not fine, but, at least we're not under that much pressure. We're 2-0 down. That's, for most teams, that's a pretty hard place to come back from, even to a poor team. And that's just the way it was for us. It wasn't good enough at all from those defenders.
Prime.
I don't think Prime's there.
Ahmed.
Oh yes, he is.
Ahmed's muted.
He said Prime. I've read
Prime, go ahead, mate. I'm letting you go first. Obviously, you call you first.
Fucking hell.
No, it's fine. If you want to speak, it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. I can always wait last. We always save the
It's
best.
fine. Go. It's fine.
Brother, one of you. I don't care who.
Okay, go.
I'm talking in it.
Fine.
We don't want to talk about Chelsea player.
I just want to say, last week, I was getting cooked. I said he had a 40% chance. You know what I mean? I was getting, finish the top 4 because all and I think I always speak about the team is mentality. I always speak about mentality when it comes to this team, right? And again, I feel like games like these, it just proves the big issue at this club. It's a mentality problem. We literally, unironically, replayed a reverse scenario of what took place here at Sheffield United and at Burnley. This game was just genuinely a reverse situation, right? And what I mean by that is that literally, if you think about it, boys, yeah, that we go down by 2. Oh, sorry, bro. Maybe it's because I need to make it taller. But my thing is that we started the game. We started a little bit bright. We started having 1 or 2 chances, and guess what then happens? We then obviously someone goes to Steve defensively, and then obviously we let the goal in. And I think for me, I look at that opportunity, and it's the same problem that players had on a consistent basis that we've all spoken about. Lack of defensive awareness. You know what I mean? I don't understand, bro. Yeah, why someone cannot understand. Yeah, someone that funny enough, Cole drives a car, doesn't he? So he should know one of the things that they teach you in driving school. Yeah, is mirror signal. You know what that means? Mirror signal. It's like mirror and then signal, right? He can't do that on his own job. That's what makes it funny. I've never seen someone that is a defender that cannot understand. Let me check my mirrors quickly. There's someone behind me. They didn't even know that, bro. And then there's also another argument that I know that's going to be a little bit of a hot take here. No one even. Why is there no communication? Why is Tosin not saying man on or something like that from him behind him to actually make sure that he blocks the shot? Right? This is me being because there has to be some responsibility also given to the defender that's behind him for not mentioning the fact that there's someone behind you. Dude, although some people may say, of course, he should just be doing it anyway. If that makes sense, he should just be doing it anyway. But regardless of the fact, there's lack of communication there, and then obviously that happens. Then Chalaba. This guy, man, I'm 5'10", but I can guarantee you I will have a better heading percentage than Chalaba, bro, at this football club. I swear to God, bro. Any of us here that are short kings, yeah, will have better heading percentages than him because he cannot head a ball to save his life defensively. Not offensively, defensively, bro. Right? And that is what cost us here for the second goal, by the way. He's not able to get the header onto the ball. And then you've got Tosin, who, again, when I talk about lack of communication defensively, this is what it comes to. The big man himself, no communication, keeps the bro on side, bro. And Cisco, right, which is a big problem there too. And again, it goes back to the same thing I've spoken about before. There's no communication in our back line, and our defender guys are committing the same mistakes that we already know about them too. And we go down 2-0, and then obviously we kind of push on. We have to give them a little bit of credit here, since that the second half they came out to be a bit more serious. Got their first goal quickly. Big up to Kukurea. He's actually done. He's always been quite good. And then we will then move on to the Sancho deciding to shoot the second one, but in the end, it was too little, too late because whether we like to admit it or not, Ipswich did deserve that draw, bro. We can say we won the game, but they deserve that draw, bro. Right? They did do a good job of that, and there was even moments, even though there were half chances where they could have gotten a winner, right? If their players were a bit more serious towards the end, right? When we were trying to really force it in the last 5 minutes or so. But if I'm going to be a bit more of a generalizer right here, I look at fixtures like these again, and we mentioned this last week against Brentford, against Ipswich, right? These are the games that we were looking at, generally speaking, to make sure we win them because when I look at these other fixtures that we are upcoming now, Fulham's a hard game for us. Everton's going to be a tough game for us. Low block FC. You then got Liverpool, United, Nottingham Forest, and Newcastle. You are genuinely giving yourselves here a mountain to climb, right? You're making those games even harder than they need to be, if that makes sense, right? The amount of pressure now that you've got on a Newcastle game, right, and the Forest game in itself, because you need to claw back points now, it's hard, bro. It's very hard, and it doesn't make your life easier, bro. So it's just, again, I think the term I'm going to use is disheartening, bro, because you want to win these
TJ
games.
Warren TV for the memberships.
Do it to my boy TJ, and TJ.
Big up to Daniel for the membership as well.
Yeah, that's all, man. I just think the term I want to use is very disheartening. I think everyone here can agree with that, bro. It's disheartening, bro, because we're just. It's almost like it's not like we're in the same situation as like last season, where it was like I think in this game week or like something like 11th or 10th still.
It was 12th, weren't we?
Yeah, or something like that. But at the same time, bro, it's like from where we were just 3 months ago in terms of like a bit more in that top four area. We had a little bit of a gap. We were kind of sitting all right, and now we're in this position where we're now in a This is like it's a very hard scenario. It's at the very least. That's what I would say.
I agree with what you said there, Ahmed. I think when we finished this game, I didn't feel angry. I felt like defeated. I felt accepting. I felt accepting of like, this is just it. Like, I wasn't angry. I was like, oh, fair enough. I just felt down. I just felt defeated. I shouldn't feel like that watching this club and after a loss, but it's just what we used to. And I'm sorry, like I beg someone try and explain to me where we're getting the points we need to get top 4 or top 5, for the rest of the season. We're literally relying on other teams dropping points, which is what we've done for about 2 months now, and we're also relying on us picking up points against teams we have yet to pick up points against in some cases. So just
we play Man United at home or away. It's home.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Our record, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. Like, our record is pretty
TJ,
bad.
thank you for the $5 super chat, you fraud. Tomorrow will be fun. Get Surfer on American Waffle for tomorrow. Serious discussions need to be had. Was it Poch or the players? Hit the likes. Before we let this new member of the panel have his say on the game, Prime, what are your thoughts on today's game? Also, I'll give $5 for whoever can figure out when the last time Surfer was on the fucking panel.
I think Surfer was on
now
the
with
panel,
injury.
He didn't have a bid.
I feel like we had this season. I think we had more lobby appearances than Surfer appearances.
No, that's great.
I want to say we won last time we saw Surfer, but I don't know when. Maybe.
Actually, yeah.
Hang on, Chris. Are you saying he only turns up when we win?
Well, no, because we did not win today.
We lose. He only turns up when we lose.
Go ahead, Prime. Go ahead.
This is going on.
Do you want half an hour to think about it and other people talk or what? Come on. Let's go.
Yo, mate. Can you speak?
Come on. Let's go, man.
English.
Jesus
Don't
Christ.
speak Spanish here, man.
You're slower than the first half build-up. Come on, let's go. Jesus.
Are you done? Thank you.
Oh, I've got simple words in 5 seconds and you didn't say. Come on, let's go.
Okay, yeah, you're done. Thank you. Yeah, this game is. I'm gonna stand by what I said last year when we couldn't beat Burnley and Sheffield United when we got the 2 draws against them. Especially when we played Burnley, who I think were already relegated by the time we played them second half of the season, and they were down to 10 men. I can't have a go fully on the manager for that. We should have enough to be able to be a championship side. So I kind of stand by that today. We should have enough to be a championship side. I shouldn't have to blame our manager why Chelsea can't be a championship side. The second goal, I'm blaming that on Sanchez because, again, he's doing what he normally does, where he just hoofs the ball out to no one. They end up winning it, and then they attack straight from that, and then ends up resulting in a goal. Now, yes, the ball could have been won within their attack quite a few times, but again, if Sanchez is not hoofing it, we don't end up conceding that second goal. But Sanchez is still playing, so that's, I guess, on Maresca or Ben Roberts or whoever in the hierarchy is still the reason why he's still here. The first goal is a pour from Tossin, trying to win it in midfield, I think, against their striker, losing it. Cucurella, chasing back against Ben Johnson. I think he should be doing better to stop the cross. But then I also looked at Colwell How are you just not alert to pick that off? And that's what annoys me about how we play this season, and even last season as well. That like when we concede goals and we make mistakes, everyone keeps making mistakes in the play. Like I've seen Chelsea teams of old, United teams of old. You know, we've seen the great teams where someone would make a mistake, but the other person would recover. That when we won our defensive, when we won the Champions League with Christensen, Rudiger, Silva, Aspie, they weren't all completely like perfect every moment. Someone would make a mistake, but then someone else would recover, so we wouldn't end up conceding. And then we also had Mendy, who was just doing a madness in goal. So again, we still wouldn't end up conceding. But when we concede goals, it's like you make a mistake, I'm making a mistake a second after, and then he's making the mistake, and then the mistake, and then the mistake, and then we keep conceding. So frustrating. The second half of the season, our final ball has just been like extremely poor, which is a complete flip to the first half of the season, because I was even saying this at the time. I thought we were like massively like overperforming in terms of the way we were playing in games and just like consistently scoring goals. We weren't controlling a lot of games, but because like Palmer would score 4 against a Brighton, or did we not beat Wolves, I think 6-2 or something, or 5-2, people would praise those games because they were high scoring, but we weren't really controlling games at all. I think this calendar year, second half of this season, I think we are controlling games a lot better, but the end result of actually scoring just isn't there, which is again frustrating. But yeah, I don't know. People want to end up blaming Maresca. You know what? That's fine. But like, you're just scapegoating him, because even if you get rid of him, which I'm not going to say I'm going to defend Maresca, I don't care. But if you get rid of him, we're just going to bring in like a Thomas Frank or an Areola. And if our squad doesn't improve with quality, experienced players that have played and won at the highest level, for us to actually jump up to be competing, we're going to go through the same bullshit next season, where we have a Delap as our striker, and we're going to put all this pressure on Esteval to be our first choice winger, and we're going to put all this pressure on Santos, and we're going to go through the same bullshit next season, where we'll start off well and then tail off with the new manager, and then people will start saying, oh, Thomas Frank, I knew he was a fraud, Maresca's better than him. Like, it's just, these guys above will just have to go, bro. Or I don't know. I'm not in the same, I guess, boat as Scott in terms of being deflated. I still like believe we'll end up getting Champions League football, just based on, I know we're like not even inconsistent. I know we're not good, but the teams around us aren't necessarily that good either. So I just think just by default, we'll probably end up getting it, which again, is not a good thing. We shouldn't be scraping Champions League football. Champions League football should be the minimum at this club, but I don't know. So is the state of the league, I guess. But it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's frustrating, but it shouldn't be taking people up to now to like realize what things are. You know, I don't know. Just, I guess I'm done.
I was going to say, speaking of the lap, he didn't even start today.
Yeah, he didn't.
It's another damning indictment of the game as well.
Which is the fact that McKenna didn't start the lap, so they could have an impact off the bench against us. Was crazy, bro. Like, we scored the first goal early from Cucurella, and then like I saw people saying that, oh, we can come back and win and stuff like that, and I'm like, we're not winning this game. Even like, great goal from Sancho, but like still like we.
On another day, Alex Palmer isn't Gianluigi Buffon.
I mean, we can.
I know, but like,
I know.
We say on another day, but how many times with these players do we say that, bro? Like, goalkeeper pulls a masterclass, fine, but like our forwards aren't the most clinical either. So
yeah, but this game I can't necessarily entirely blame it on the forwards. You got to look at our defense.
I know, and that's why
just in this game alone.
I know, I agree.
When you don't
and
look
that's
at yourself,
why I'm
though, 'cause,
saying
like-
for this game, that's why I'm saying for this game,
I'm
I'm
not
not
playing
on
Oliver.
Maresca. That's why I'm saying for this game, bro, I'm not on Maresca because the players should be able to figure this out themselves. This is a championship side. They're not good.
Yeah.
You should be
And
able to
S, I
figure this
bring
out.
up your
But it-
comments because you're one of those fans that despite the result, doesn't matter the performance at all, you're going to blame it on Maresca no matter what. Now, our friend Winter Surfer, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. He's been waiting a while to speak. I'm sure he has plenty of things to speak. You have like 4 months worth of Chelsea football to catch us up on the
I was
channel.
on like last month for the international break. What are we doing here? Why
Were
are
you? I don't
what is
remember.
this?
Come
I
on,
don't remember.
he's always been.
Was
there.
he?
Okay, so wait,
You guys
wait,
remember?
Are we
He's here in
saying
spirit.
are we saying Surfer is that Reece James for the surgery?
Go ahead, Andrew. I'm just busting your balls. What's going on?
Pause.
Talk to me.
No problem. Listen, I would say this. I agree with Prime. Today's not on Maresca. Today's on the players. Even with the shit defense, we broke them down loads of times. The low block issue wasn't an issue today. It was the finishing, pure and simple. We gave Palmer his career highlight that he can rest his career on one game throughout the rest of his career. And we didn't finish. It was as simple as that. Can't even complain about the starting lineup because the goals didn't come down Chalobah's side, they came down Cucurella's side. So can't even go, oh, we should have played Gusto with that. He made the change at half time, put Gusto on for better balance, faster with the ball. And we didn't take our chances. It's pure and simple. That's what it is today. I don't agree with Ahmed. Ipswich should not deserve the draw today whatsoever. We battered them second half and should have run out at least 5-2 winners today. And we didn't do it. We didn't. Simple as that. Couldn't finish today. Simple as that.
Big up Irox. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. He says here, we made a mistake hiring Poch. We'll end up with the same / less points with more experienced team, new additions, and shittier league. Also, whoever made the decision, Jackson is main striker, sack them right now. I mean, do you guys want to get into the directors? You want to stick on the game?
We just have the same thing. It's the same thing about the directors and the ownership every time. It's the same thing we say. We say the same stuff. We needed this. We needed that. They need to go. This one needs to come in. It's the same argument until it changes. It's the same thing over and over again. That's what it is. You know, are we the biggest issue today with dropping points is that it's not in our own hands anymore. That's the biggest thing. The rest of the season, we can talk about. Everyone's got the same opinion about the sporting directors. They don't want them here.
Yeah.
We're all going to say the same thing. That's going to go up to the owners that they shouldn't have brought them in. People in the chat are going to say owners out, but they're too stupid to realise that these are billionaires, and if someone bids for the club, they can't get them out. It's not simply just giving away a toothbrush, to someone.
Surfer, the reason why I think it's important to keep talking about the sporting directors is because a lot of people in this fan base just want to focus on...
What's going to be said differently?
No, I know. But what I mean is a lot of people, like you said, want to focus on getting rid of the owners, which, like you said, can't happen. Or they think everything is on Maresca and want to get rid of him, which, again, is not going to make much of a difference. People don't want to focus on what the actual bigger picture, which is frustrating.
But the thing is that we can talk about the sporting director. We know what the sporting directors are, but we've discussed this since last summer, even before that, and we discussed it loads of times during the January transfer window. Our opinions on the sporting directors on this panel haven't changed. We don't want them. But the ownership has backed them. That's the thing. The ownership has backed them and has already drawn up summer plans with these guys. Do you know what I mean? Nothing changes, So we can go on another 30, 40 minutes talking about how shit the sporting directors are, but it's the same thing. It's the same outcome. We have the same discussion. Nothing changes. Today is simply put, we didn't finish our chances today. This is what this game is about. You can talk about the defensive lapses, but why? But we know we've been rubbish defensively for most of the season, especially turn of the year and stuff like that. We know that we've had concentration issues and stuff like that. But still, it wouldn't have mattered if we took our two of those chances, we run out 4-2 winners. It doesn't really matter. Do you know what I mean? It's just as simple as that.
And that's the thing that annoys me. Go ahead, Surfer. Go ahead.
And that's linked to sporting directors again. But when we get into the same conversation about how poor the recruitment was in summer and that we didn't recruit in January, it's the same conversation we have again. Well, we should have got this guy. We should have got that guy. Why did we get that guy? Why did we get that guy? We'd rather, and we can talk about it all you want, but I think it's just a waste of energy at this moment in time until the summer rolls around, until we see what the actual fucking recruitment is for these. But we're just going to end up frustrating ourselves even more. I really want to focus on these. I really want to focus on these players because it's not. I really want to focus on the choices they make. I really want to focus on like Cole Palmer, who for some reason, when he's on his left foot, decides to go back onto his right side for half the game today, instead of like popping it off with his left. Like that shot that at the end that was saved. Why is he placing it instead of just blasting it like he would have done last season? Why isn't he doing that? Why isn't he doing that? Why is Noni Madueke taking another fucking extra touch in the box again? Why is he doing that? Why is I don't know what Jackson was doing today at all. No box presence again, but that's his game. Again, we'll talk about Jackson's no box presence. What's the point? That's just not him. It's just not him. At the end, why is Enzo going for glory with that shot at the end when he should have left it for Neto to score and probably have a tap in right in? Yeah. Why is Chalobah missing from a yard out with a header? Why is he doing that? Huh? Why does it take Cucurella again to start off our goal? I know he didn't score, but his presence, made the his hair put off Pranzabi. You know what I mean? As the back of the net.
Oh man!
I know no team scores 100% of their chances, but the problem is we have a repetition of about 7-8 years now of us not taking our chances. This
isn't the first iteration of this issue.
Don't take a lot of chances. And at the start of the season, we're getting away with it, but we're not getting away with it now. So we're not taking those chances. We
don't. When we buy forwards and attacking players, we don't buy anyone with a proven, or we rarely buy players with a proven track record of scoring goals. When's the last time we bought someone with a proven track record of scoring goals? Well, okay, Lukaku, but we didn't have creativity for him. Before that was Costa.
Yeah.
I guess it was Aubameyang technically, but yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even play.
Well, Sterling supposed to do that as well. Sterling flopped.
Sterling was old.
Yeah,
in the chat, they go, "Why did Maresca change this?" He changed it at half time. With better balance, we passed with the ball. We created chances.
Came off. Yeah.
We created chances.
He's shit.
But what do you mean by changing? We created chances. We didn't.
Like I said, the only thing.
A lot of the tactics because we created chances.
The only thing that annoys me about Maresca today is the fact that when you were 1-0 down, you didn't have a plan B. You wanted to pull players out of position, and McKenna knew enough to say, "Okay, once you guys score, just sit back. Don't even press for the ball. Let them have it."
That's not necessarily an issue for me. I think the only thing that annoyed me about Maresca today was there's a couple things. I think the centre back issue that he continues. I know JC mentioned earlier. He continues to switch around his centre backs on a continuous basis. Like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, let these. He did it earlier in the season. It pissed me off. It pissed me off when Poch did it last season, and it's pissing me off now when he's doing it. Like, it's not helping. When was the last time that Tosin and Colwell played together?
Was it Brentford?
Fulham? Wasn't Fulham? Was it?
Was it Brentford?
They didn't play together at Brentford because Colwell came on to Tosin at half time. Because this is the second league game in a row that Tosin's been subbed off at half time, by the way.
That is interesting, by the way. I don't understand.
It is. He is living up. He is estimating to what I thought he was going to bring when he got here, and he had a couple of decent performances where he performed slightly above what we expected, but he's been about what I expected this season, which is about average. That's what you get when you sign a guy on a free transfer from Fulham. That's what you fucking get.
I got Jan. Yeah, but again,
you know what the issue is?
I don't have, as a squad player, I don't necessarily like
SDFC's coming up, please. About hyping up chances. Let's address this. Listen, you idiot. I didn't hype up chances. I said we made chances, you moron. All right? That's what I'm saying. But obviously, you have the attention span of a gnat. Okay. Or you have selective hearing, because that's what you only want to do.
I wanna
We
actually.
probably don't put your comments up because you're a fucking idiot. That's why we don't put your comments up normally. Fucking weirdo.
I just wanna before you go, Scott.
You're
Before
never here, sir.
Before you guys go quickly, I just want to make this
Yeah.
point because I think it's a necessary point that we need to make here, which is that we speak about this a lot often, whether it be in the attack, whether it be in the defense, or whether it be in the midfield. Not necessarily in the midfield, I'll probably say, right? But even in
Bro. I'm sorry, I said it in the chat, bro. You've got to sort your mic out. You keep going in and out like you go. You're like that, bro. You've got to sort your mic out. It's really
probably.
I can't because I can only hear.
By the way,
not a mic.
Answer your question.
No.
Leicester
No.
the last time.
When did we play Leicester?
Yes. So
We played Leicester real quick, Ahmed, March 9th.
That was before the international.
about a week ago.
Over a month ago then. Great, fantastic.
So the point I'm just trying to make essentially about the position I was speaking about is that we lack necessary quality. That's the problem that we've had for a long while. And then when we try to, when we approach, and then when we approach to buy that quality that we need to improve that team, to improve the team and to get us to that level, we can't do it. So it becomes a problem, right? That's
quality, Ahmed. It's mentality as well.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, we already spoke about, but I feel like the mentality.
No, but Ahmed, the mentality for me was more apparent today rather than quality. Like, yes, quality would probably win you this game, but like, I'll be real. I'll go back to what Marsh said about the plan B. We didn't need a plan B. You had a plan A that was working for what was it? When did we concede the first goal?
The 20th, right here
20th.
actually.
Cool.
This is the first goal.
So you had a plan that was working for 20 minutes. We were battering them. We were creating chance on chances. We were playing through them. It was working. You were playing with intensity. You were playing with pace. You were doing well. We concede, and what happens is the same thing that happens every time. And I've spoken about it every time to the point I must have spoken about it 20 times on different streams over the course of this season. We concede a goal, and we have no idea what to do. We have absolutely no idea what to do. We shit our pants. We shit the bed. Everyone loses their heads, and no one has any idea what to do. Instead of just carrying on what we were doing, everyone shits themselves. And then what happens? Because then we try and slow it down, and all of a sudden we go back to this boring nonsense of playing it out wide to a winger that has two men on him, to back inside. It's all slow. Cool. We don't really create anything after that. And then we get punched in the mouth again. And then they really don't know what to do.
You know what
there is not a single person in this team outside of like maybe Caicedo. There's not a single other player in this team that mentally has the balls when we actually concede, maybe Cucurella as well, to like just carry on.
Enzo.
No, Enzo doesn't either because he doesn't either because what they end up doing is the same thing Jackson ended doing later in the game and Cole does all the time. Instead of getting angry in the right method of like, okay, I'm pissed off that we're losing this game. Let me take it upon myself to try and do something. They get pissed off with the players. Jackson tried to like forearm a guy like in the second half for no reason.
He almost got. He got. That's his regular yellow, Scott. Man, that's a regular yellow for him. But like,
Scott's right. And that's what I mean by mentality.
I know what you mean. Okay, I'll let you go. But because the thing is, I've already spoken about mentality. You heard me speak about intro. My issue is it's already a known quantity that like the only way you can solve that is by bringing in guys who have mentality. Maybe the manager trying to help these guys out, like, and help them through these situations as well. That's and he can do that off the pitch. I don't think you need that can happen on the pitch necessarily. That probably has to happen off the pitch, like, of course. And then that also comes with experience as well. To be honest, as well to a lesser extent, right?
The only thing I'll counter mentality thing is that we were better in the second half. We scored right away. We didn't used to do that under Poch. You know, we didn't.
No, sir. For what I mean is in terms of when we went 1-0 down.
Yeah,
when we went 1-0 down, we shouldn't have switched off. We should just have kept going.
That's not. See that switching off is not. See, the difference I have with Poch is that the head would go down. Right, the heads would always go down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that. Like the heads would all go down. Switching off is different from heads going down for me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like last season, I don't think we come back into that game last season. I just don't under Poch. I just don't think we do it.
I still think it's mentality, regardless, like whether it's heads going down.
Mentality though, but we came back into it when we were still creating chances. We still were doing it. The mentality's in the
second half. Yeah, once Maresca speaks to the players, but I'm talking in the game and when stuff happens, they don't know how to react.
But this is the thing, though, Scott. I think that's why I said it. That's why I said in the second half they reacted, but after the 28th minute, for the rest of that half, up until maybe the last 4 minutes of that half, they didn't know what the fuck to do. And I think this is why I said in my monologue in the beginning. I think that comes from the lack of experience, and I think that comes from Maresca not having a plan B. Because the reason I think it was a tactical issue is because today there was multiple points where Tosin or Levi were on the ball and no one was moving for it. And that told me, okay, you guys clearly want Ipswich to press you, to do this thing that Maresca likes to do. Keep possession, hold on to it, have them press you, have one person come out of the formation, and an opportunity will open up. And we were doing that at the beginning. Why? Because Ipswich wanted to get a goal. Ipswich were more open. They weren't playing a low block. They wanted to get a win. They're trying to survive relegation. They're going to fight for it. And they've beaten this team before. They know they can get 3 points out of it. So they're going to play you. They're going to step out of their formation a bit. They're going to press you. Once they get the goal, they don't have to do it anymore. So what did they do? They sat back. And to me, the players didn't know, okay, we're going to stick to the plan. Okay, they're not pressing us. What do we do? Maresca, Tosin, like who do we go to see and guide us to, okay, this plan isn't working. Let's try something else. The second half, but hold on. The second half was totally different because we weren't even doing that anymore. We weren't holding possession. We decided to actually go for them and put pressure on them.
But partially, that was also because I felt like in the second half, Ipswich decided we're going to just sharp shop you. They decided, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got the two
They
guys.
decided to shut shop after the first goal is what I'm trying to get at.
No, because when they were doing that too then, but they fully just decided low block FC. That's what they decided in this between the second half. But I agree with you, Marshall, about the thing of Maresca not technically having a plan B in a sense. But remember,
not until he gets to the locker room.
But remember what I've always said to you though? He's a Gen Z manager. Gen Z managers, the vast majority of the time, there's the A way. They tweak the tactics to make plan A usually work. That's the best. And that's what he did
earlier. And I agree with him. He didn't need a plan B today. Plan A was working.
Plan A was working.
Plan A was working
today.
The thing was that once this is the thing that annoys me, right? Sure, you have plan A, but how come McKenna, who had a one plan in the beginning, all of a sudden when he gets a goal, the plan changes. Now they're sitting back and low block.
But Marshall,
they didn't expect to be 2-0 up.
No, but also Marshall.
But also, why can't we react that way? Why do we have to stick to the same plan?
Marshall. That happened because it's Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
1-0 up and then 2-0 up against Chelsea. Like that could be any manager. Like that's any team below us, basically.
No, I know. Yeah.
Pretty much. Even some teams above us are going to do that because, like, City did that. City changed the way. Like City changed the way they play and went a bit more defensive and hit long balls because that was the way to beat us. Like that's what teams do. Like I've seen Bournemouth do that against City. The difference when they did that against City, like if you go back and this was a couple years ago when City won the league and were good. There was a game, Bournemouth didn't have a single shot in a game when they played City. They lost 2 or 3-0 because they decided we're going to spend the whole game in our box. But guess what? City had the quality in that game and they had the experience to know, even though we're only creating a few chances, even though we're getting frustrated, we know how to break through this. Our team, our experience is coming from Tosin, who's shit and got subbed off at half-time. It's coming from Chalobah, who has fallen off a cliff. Like, this is the one other thing I'll say about Maresca, and I've realised this. He does not know how to set a defence up properly. While our defenders are quite shit, we've seen Chalobah be good for our team. Regardless of what we think of him as a player, we've seen him be good to great for this team. This is the worst I've ever seen Chalobah play.
Yeah, but
this is the worst I've ever seen Chalobah play.
He had experience next to him at that
No,
time.
but Scott, here's the thing, right? Yeah. Again, this is Chalobah. If you watched him at Palace, he wasn't amazing either. He wasn't amazing either. Hold on, but I mean, fine. Maybe you can say he's being dragged down by Colwell.
Didn't you have
But
Chalobah?
hold on. But I told people at the time about Chalobah.
I think
he's not that good, but he's playing with Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva's making him look better than he actually is, bro.
That he still held his own, right? Regardless of that debate.
He did,
Hang on. He held his own to the point where, as I said, he was at least good to very good, like at least a 7 out of 10.
Because he had Thiago Silva next to him.
Yeah.
Even when he didn't have Silva next to him, he was still good.
No, even still, I remember games at that time, by the way, that I remember what I said earlier in my monologue where it used to be where if someone made a mistake, someone else could cover for me, and that mistake wouldn't result in a goal. I remember Chalobah made mistakes at that time, and Silva would cover for him, or Mendy would make a world-class save, or Rudiger would cover, or Aspie, or Reece.
100%.
Now in this team,
cool.
Now in this team,
we can debate.
Correa makes a mistake for that Ben Johnson
I know
goal.
your feelings on Chalobah, so we can.
But it's not just Chalobah.
No, it is. We can debate.
Hold on, Scott.
How good do you think Chalobah was? He has never playing for us been this bad.
It's fine. No, hold on. It's not just Chalobah. Hold on, because even though we're saying this about our centre backs, we've still only conceded now 39 goals in the Prem.
Is that the third least?
We have one of the best.
Bro, it's not such a disingenuous stat.
I know, but hold on. Actually, listen to me. Even with that Bozo's middle name in goal, even with our centre backs that I don't rate, we still have only conceded 39 goals in the Prem. So the structure from Maresca to me shows that it actually does work. It's just the personnel that he keeps picking. But again, the personnel isn't great regardless of who you pick. But what I do agree with you, Scott, is what I do agree with you, Scott, is he should just pick a centre back pairing and stick with it. I've been saying that even under Lampard 1920, when Lampard kept chopping it every game, I said pick a 2 and stick with it. Remember, Surfer, I said that on the third. You've known me for that long.
So I would say this. So he doesn't have to coach the defence. I'd say that's not true because Fofana and Colwell were starting to get some of a good partnership until Fofana's injury. And that's really derailed me. Now, what I agree with everyone else is that Maresca needs to be settled back to the partnership. He needs to start doing it because it doesn't help Colwell at all. Doesn't help the other one who comes in and then you sub him at half time, which doesn't help either. So he needs to do that. And also this experience thing, it's not going to wash me anymore. The experience thing didn't. The finishes don't. You don't need to be experienced to bury one of those finishes today whatsoever. I don't care.
It's not experience. I would say it's quality, Safa. I don't know about you.
Nice.
I feel like it's both.
No. The reason why I don't say
hold on. Just to explain myself. Wait, Server. When I say that, I'm referring more so for the center backs. That's really
fair enough.
No, just across the team. I'll be real. No, it's still across the team. I'll be honest. It's still across the team.
I don't think it's like being 2-0 down to Ipswich, right? That to me, like, say, fine, we have the first half as we have it. Maresca shouldn't have to say anything to those guys at halftime. I'll be so real. If we had leaders in that dressing room, the manager shouldn't have to speak. The manager doesn't have to speak.
I need to back this point here because one of the things that I was hearing last season, one of the arguments.
Are you going to be serious or are you going to troll? Because you smile.
Well, I am being serious.
Sorry,
genuinely.
I'm sorry, I had to ask.
I'm going to smirk because there's a reason why I'm smirking for this, yeah?
Okay.
One of the things I was hearing about last season, we like the experience. These games against Sheffield United, these games against Burnley is going to make sure our players get the necessary experience points here. So that when we get into a situation like this next season, they're ready and know how to do the job, right? And would you look at what's happened now? That's just the point I'm just trying to make, right? Because that's an argument I was hearing is that they've got 1 more year experience now, so they should be able to handle these moments per se.
Right. What I will say on the experience thing, right, real quick, is that the experienced viewers know to come into the stream and smash up the like buttons, whereas the inexperienced viewer on YouTube, you guys need to learn how to smash the like button. So over 75 of you watching. Smash up the like button. Come on now. This content, listen, we suffer for you guys to enjoy, and we're trying to go through this therapy session. It's not really working right now. I still feel like shit, but I'm hoping by the time we get to 3.5 hours, I'll feel a lot better. But yeah, smash up the like button, please, guys, if you haven't done so already.
You can credit that as one of the fucking reasons I don't come on these shows. The fucking longer than WrestleMania. 3.5 hours.
Not more, man. Those questions are going to hours, man.
Longer than an NFL game. Some of these fucking panels, man. That's even when we win. You know what I mean?
This is why Surfer gets hooked at the 40-minute mark, man. He doesn't have the endurance to last the 90 minutes.
Tap out.
Surfer and Hook, crazy.
But no, I mean, in terms of that defense, like, I look at that and I'm seeing Levi Colwell lead the defense, and this guy's 21, and he's got the worst and stinkiest attitude. I don't want to see him on. And listen, we don't want to talk on the recruitment, right? But I look at the recruitment, and I'm thinking, you got Axel Disasi. What the fuck for? Now you want to sell him. Badi Ashile, at first it looked like a great signing, but now he's long overstayed his welcome at this point. He's up and down this whole season, mostly down in my opinion. He's not good enough. Levi Colwell, you wanted to emphasize him getting minutes. You wanted to emphasize keeping him. You rejected a bid from PSG, a bid from Liverpool. You didn't want Brighton to keep him. And now look at him. Is this the guy? Am I going to wait 5 years, 6 years for him to develop into that center back that you want him to be? Piss off. Tosin, so up and down. Gives us good performances from time to time when we didn't expect it, and then gives us shit performances when we expect him to be stable. And that's 4 defenders. You go into the summer, I need center backs. Give me good center backs. That doesn't have to be Huijsen. You can give me. That's why this is my opinion, and if we can get better, I would love to. That's why I'm in favor for bringing in Marguerite. At this point, he does a job for Crystal Palace. I know how Prime feels about him, but he does a job for Crystal Palace. You know I thought he was decent for the UK, for national team. He must be, honestly, he's probably a big upgrade to everything we have right now.
No, you know what, Marshall? I've been saying a lot about Guehi, and I still don't want him, but you know what? If I'm looking at these guys at the club.
But look at the level, man.
And Chalobah's on his way out too. I forgot to mention him. 5.
I know, but let me not speak.
To rebuild that whole center back.
If we just look at our back line in general, Prime, if you didn't even just look at the back line, it's bad, bro. And the problem is, a lot of these guys, and I feel like
we've been lucky that we haven't conceded
a lot of these guys need to
so much in the last few games.
A lot of these guys
so every center back we have.
I agree, and that's why for me buying it's like again. I have to say it about Guehi. I'm not saying like he's bad or terrible. He's a good center back. He works for Palace and he works for England, whatever. Cool. The fact that we have to overhaul our center back, our defensive line, if we're spending like money on him to be the starter in our team, what direction are we going in? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I don't. Sorry, someone did a comment that.
I think that
yesterday it was about yesterday, but like
I think this whole thing about
last one
needing to buy an elite centre back. I keep going again. Elite centre backs are a very, very they're a small percentage in the world. Okay, they're small percentage in the world. Elite centre backs are very small. Okay, Chelsea have never bought an elite centre back ever. Maybe Desai. But that's
out of value now?
No, I don't think. The problem is without social media wasn't around back then, so I think people only knew him because he was in that Mourinho Porto team that won.
Fair enough.
That season, okay.
He
might be the closest, but the problem is we've never bought an elite centre back ever.
I don't think Silva was elite. Oh, Silva was on the free actually. To be fair, yeah, never mind.
No. Silva was elite. We're not doing this. He was elite.
He was really good in his first 2 seasons.
No, he was elite.
He was elite in a back 3, and a back 4 he stank. In the back 3 was.
What about Lampard when he started at back 4?
He said centre back, Chris. He said centre back.
Lampard's not a centre
back.
back.
I know. Oh no, I thought you said Thiago Silva, son of a.
No.
Yeah, and we stank in the back four under Lampard, don't you?
No.
I
swear we hung Mendy.
I remember Silva in the back
pretty
under
good.
Lampard. His debut was shocking. However,
Okay,
he started well, and then we just collapsed in terms of.
He had a good
goals.
partnership with Zuma.
I was gonna say, we're not rewriting history. Silva was elite, man. Like, we're not rewriting history.
I agree. He
was an elite centre back.
This is the same thing.
Was he an elite
This is
centre
the
back?
same argument that puts Silva in an all-time Chelsea 11, which is not.
No one said that. He's an elite centre back.
Again,
No. I'm saying
we're getting caught up in semantics.
Hang on, let me finish. Let me finish. He was good in patches. He wasn't elite all the time he was here at Chelsea. He just wasn't.
Fuck me.
That's fine. Sir, let's not get caught up in the semantics.
No, I'm just saying we've never bought an elite centre back. This whole thing that we need elite this, elite that. No, we need good centre backs. He's a very good centre back. Very good centre back.
I agree.
He's proving it again this season. From the new partnership with Lacroix, it's part of the reason Crystal Palace turned the season around as well. We're into an FA Cup semi-final as well. He's right-footed. He plays on the left, so he could do a John Terry with that one. He was England's best player in the Euros, which I know people might say, well, England played crap, but they played more defensive than ever. He was the best defender there. He's only 24, 25. He's already captain and leader at his own club. He's played in the Premier League long enough. He's a good centre-back, very good centre-back. And I don't want Huijsen if none of the other centre-backs change. There's no point bringing in Huijsen at 19, 20 years old if none of the rest centre-backs change.
I agree. My thing is, and I've always said this, you either can get like an alpha centre-back to drag everyone up, or you build a partnership. If we bring in Guehi, who's going to partner Guehi? Or who will Guehi partner? I do not like that. I don't. Cole should not be here, bro.
The point is, Cole's development has been stunted the last 2 years because of the way he's been handled and the way the other players around him. Colwell should be learning under someone. He shouldn't be the leader of this defense, and he's suffering from that. Okay, he suffered from it last season because he played out position for most of it, and he's suffering this season because Fofana's been injured. And also the rotation of other centre-backs. So he can't form a partnership with someone because he was actually playing well up until the Fofana injury. They were forming a partnership. But he still needs to learn. He's immature. And he's gonna make young player mistakes. And we are seeing that because he's only 21. I keep going back. John Terry went on to be a great centre-back. But that's only because he had 2-3 years under Desailly. If he didn't have Desailly, I don't know. He probably would have been great still, but I don't know how his probably development would have been later than it actually was. He was great because Dessay was there, literally, being a mentor to him. We haven't done that, and we haven't done that with Colwell. Thiago. You might say, Thiago Silva should be kept on, but Thiago Silva, the back four is deteriorating. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One more season of Thiago Silva for this one, I would have let go of. I would have excused one more season of Thiago Silva just for this season.
No. He would have.
The last season, though, he was overused. If he had been in and out,
that's the issue.
But again, that goes against. Yeah, you're right.
That's the reason why I wanted him gone. It was not necessarily because I thought he was past it, although he was terrible last season.
We need to develop a centre back partnership.
I was gonna say it's more if you could guarantee me if he'd have stayed this season, he'd have been like fourth or fifth choice centre back and played like not a lot of the minutes, similar to how not necessarily Cahill did, but like Terry did under Conte. Yes, I'd have taken it. If he'd have been here, he'd have played 80% of the season.
Yeah, and I think for me,
and I'll say this real quick before you go on, man. What I'll say, like, what I expect from Guehi, and listen, this is just my opinion, and I will admit it's not the best informed opinion, but I will say what I would expect from a Guehi next season is to kind of be the floor so that other center backs around him actually be better. So I would expect him to be solid enough, despite who his partner is, so that maybe Colwell can be. You know how every center back partnership, there's always that one center back that stands out, but the other one's more solid, like a stable. We need that stable figure, and I think Guehi can be that stable figure.
Like Arsenal, how Saliba is the more talented one that everyone wants, but Gabriel.
Yeah, but Gabriel's getting the goals. Exactly.
I agree.
Go ahead, Prime.
My thing. Sorry, I know you wanted to. My thing with the Silva thing, I was against getting rid of him because I wanted us to keep, experience in the team.
Yeah.
And with Aspie going, I wanted Silva to stay. However, I do agree with Scott in that ever since Silva's been here, we've never been able to build a partnership because we've always relied upon him as a crutch. Every time someone's gotten injured, it's always been, Silva will save us. Play Silva as a crutch. And we would have done the same this year once Fofana got injured.
Yep.
And as bad as things look now, with how old is he now? 40 years old? With a 40-year-old Silva in this back line, yes, we'd have more experience, but we could arguably be just as bad.
You know what I think, though? I think it's hard to say that because you didn't have the same coach. But if you were like, well, if he didn't have the injuries, and it's like saying, well, if I didn't do this, did that, and he had the injury before we signed him, I think someone was thinking, plan was without the injuries, Fofana, 2-3 years, steps up, becomes the leader of the defense, and then I think that's what the plan was even before the injury.
Horrible plan. Do you know what we're talking about? I know it's not your plan, Server, but it's like,
horrible plan. It's not a horrible plan. What I'm saying is, it's not a horrible plan. It's just that the plan is derailed because of his so many injuries. So he can't get. He has to restart he's out for the season again. Oh, by the way, side note, is everyone going to apologise to Maresca now because they called him a liar? Because remember when Fofana came out and said,
done that yet.
They're going to apologise to him. This dickhead won't get surgery or something again.
I think the plan has been Colwell, though, because remember, even in the summer, they were speaking about Colwell being a leader, being a future captain.
No, but what I think is that I think Colwell's right. I think you're right. But what I'm saying is that I think it was like with a sort of a lesser like Saliba, Gabriel thing was to be like the Fofana would be the Gabriel player, would be the more experienced player, the older player by a couple of years, like between them two, like Gabriel and Saliba. Colwell's the more talented. Well, Colwell's seen as the more talented one, but because of injuries and our lack of recruitment in that area, everyone's stunted. Or they've plateaued, or they've flatlined, or they haven't grown. So it's like that. It hasn't worked.
You know what it is so far? I think I'm going to say two things firstly. I think our first big problem was the Fofana signing, because we should have realised after that season that he had with us, the first initial one, how many injuries he got, that we could not rely upon him. Like that should have been like a matter of fact in my personal opinion, and that should have been sorted out in the summer. And I'm talking about the previous summer, obviously not the summer upcoming, but the previous summer, because because they were so reliant upon him basically starting, and then maybe Tosin being the here there guy. You get a few minutes every now and then, or Disasi will be that guy for us every now and then to fill in that spot. But because Fofana is basically essentially injury prone, that has not helped us out at all. And I think the second thing is, if we are looking to the centre back, obviously rebuild, I think the reason why I'm happy with getting a guy is that you want a guy that can give you a minimum expected grade, bro. You know what I mean? I want a guy that can just give me a solid game every single game, bro. Average prime. That's the thing. Okay, I'm not saying he's the best player to have, but you need to get someone that's giving you a minimum 7 out of 10 in the defense, bro.
And the thing is,
that's what you need, right?
If I'm building, if I'm building this centre backs next season, I agree. Like, you want Gehi in, so he's the experience and he's the baseline. So you can have a younger guy who, for me, next season, I'm getting in. Luke Haber is the guy I'm bringing in.
Oh, the guy he's from Leipzig, right?
Yeah, I'm having him, and I'm having Luke Haber, and I'm having Gehi as the centre back partnership. And then even though Luke Haber is younger, he's like 23, I think. He has the ability, because he's got Gehi next to him, who is the leader and is the guy that I expect the baseline from, to have a couple moments here and there. But that's fine, because his ceiling's way higher. So if and indeed when he gets that level, he surpasses Gehi, and then he takes Gehi's place, and so the cycle continues. Yeah, building this team the way we have is a disgrace. Like, it's embarrassing.
The problem also is squad.
What about Jonathan Tah as well?
The problem for me, he's going Bayern. He's going Bayern.
I think that ship has sailed.
Probably. He's like, what,
do you know what it also is, though? Chris?
Yeah, he's not short.
What? Who said that?
I think he's 6'9".
Yeah, he's not short, bro.
But like, from what the other thing I want to talk about, I think the other thing that we need to talk about, right, is then even the recruitment perspective. I think Lukeba, he's got quite a few injuries again. That's someone I'm not gonna. Yes, he's a talented guy, but it's like I don't want another injury-prone player, right? But then I look around at the other options I probably want to get. Yeah, Bissek is one of those guys that I probably want to get from Inter.
Yep.
He's gonna cost me a lot of money to get. Another guy that I'll probably be looking at, even though I'm not gonna look at RSM's not here. Hincapié would actually be pretty decent for us for a number of reasons.
I disagree.
For me, he would be versatility wise.
Sorry. Ahmed, I'm gonna be honest. Two
You don't
things.
like him?
One,
Alright, fair
no,
enough.
fuck the versatility thing. That's something that's got to be said. This versatility Swiss Army knife
enough.
bullshit. I'm done with that. Fuck the versatility thing. Second, my thing with Hincapié is he has. It depends what we're gonna do, right? He's never played, as far as I'm aware. I don't think he's ever played as a centre back in a back four. He only ever plays as a left back or a centre back in a back three. So that means he'd have to take Kukureya's spot basically in this system, which I'm not doing that.
Spurs, actually, you know what? That's Spurs. But again, for me,
You can't sign
the guy
players
that-
out of the Champions League, guys. Oh well, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
I do think it becomes way harder
It becomes, but it's
from a
we know
financial
this,
aspect, not from a
in general, just not even from a financial.
not from
I know
like
what you mean.
a getting people here in terms of what's it called, like
Hmm.
not pulling power, but
Never gonna get
financially,
Bastoni
yeah.
out of Italy.
Yeah, we're not getting back. Like Bastoni would be
Yeah.
my number one choice of any
Yeah.
centre back in world
That's
football
why-
currently. he'd be
Yeah,
my number one.
I don't think it's
I
possible.
would
to go there.
genuinely
Probably
just
too
take.
happy
I
out.
would genuinely take the whole Inter's back line.
Bastoni.
Who?
Bastoni.
Bastoni.
Oh, that's that. Listen, no. Let's put this
Arsenal,
up. Even if we're in Champions League, we're never getting him. He's an
Oh no,
attack player.
I know we know that.
We
But what we're saying,
making a point.
We're
we're saying
Barella.
like if I could get any centre back in world, if I get any centre back in world football not named like Rudiger, Saliba, or Gabriel right now, would probably be Bastoni.
As mom, listen, you might laugh at this, and it's coming from me, so you might laugh at this. Barcelona can't register players. There's a Danish
I was
centre
going to
back.
just say
You know what I'm saying?
Christensen.
He's actually had he's had quite a few
Yeah.
injuries though towards the last
Fuck it.
season.
Fuck it. Real Madrid don't like spending money. They won't do it anyway because of this damn project thing. I'd just throw the bag at Rudiger again. I'd just say Rudiger come back. Let's say Rudiger come back.
I would love to bring Rudiger back.
My
I would
thing,
love
my thing for me right now
He
is
wouldn't
that
leave
listen, no UCL football guys is gonna be like losing two arms because what's gonna happen is we're gonna have to sell some of these guys, right, because of the money that we need.
Spawned in.
Yeah, his name and he appears.
You know what
You
I mean?
spawned in Lewis.
There we go. Big up, Lewis.
We're
Lewis,
going
we're not getting him.
to sell players anyway. That was always going to happen.
Yeah, but like
What do you mean?
you're gonna have to
Somebody
sell guys at a profit. You're gonna have to sell guys at a profit now. You know what I mean? If that makes sense now, because
Well, that's what you
we're
sell
gonna have
players
to
for anyway.
If we don't get Champions League football,
do.
yeah.
We're gonna be
Hey,
able to Tati for a profit.
Hey,
Come on.
I know
No.
that's not
Yeah.
care.
Well, it depends what profit you mean. If someone's going to pay 35 million, that's profit for me.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And we'll never get this. Chelsea are the best sellers in the Premier League. The best sellers.
Last
Don't
season
give
we
me-
did struggle though. Let's be honest.
No, we
Last
didn't
season,
struggle.
As a
We
big
didn't
club, we
struggle.
might
in
be
terms
the
of
best
selling
sellers.
some of the players you wanted to
No, we
actually
didn't
get out.
struggle. Who did we struggle? Who did we struggle to sell? Give me a name right now.
Give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
I'll
move
say
on because you don't.
Okay, let me check our transfer market.
That's what I was about to do.
Wait, hold on.
Tic tac.
It's
Who
crazy
shouts
that
Tic tac.
Ahmed, there's only one name, Ahmed. There's only one name. The fact that you can't think of him is crazy.
We didn't struggle
Chill
to sell
Robert
Sterling,
Sanchez.
bro.
Robert
Sterling-
Sanchez.
No, I
Sterling
think
was in the
I
plans.
think it depends
And
on.
even
I think the thing
even-
that I would agree with Ahmed about, I think just word it differently, is I don't think we struggle to sell players. I think what we have a tendency to do, and I think you've seen that with the Cassidy stuff that happened, is they penny pinch. Like instead of with certain players, just get rid of them. They do the same bullshit that Abramovich did to piss me off, and Marina did, where it's like for some players, just get rid of them. Stop penny pinching. Stop trying to squeeze everything you can out of a deal. Just sell them because, we can joke and laugh about it, but in all seriousness, they spent an entire window trying to sell Cassidy to sell him for 13 mil.
We also
But
saw
This hang on. This name's
45
you. So Sterling was in the plans until we think we signed Neto, or probably until we signed Neto.
No, he
in the
was
plans.
never in. I'll be real. He was never in the plans.
I think he was in the
moment-
plans until we signed Neto, and then he was out.
We signed Neto after he got told he was leaving because we gave his
No,
shirt.
but
like-
no, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, I think it was the same. No, I think it was the same weekend. think we signed Neto Friday, and then the things came out that weekend.
No, the stuff about Sterling already came out because then when we got Neto in, we gave him Sterling's number.
Well, I don't know. I think
He's
Sterling's
right about
doing the
that.
plans in my
But I don't think he was.
Because there was all that outrage about him losing his number or some bollocks.
Wasn't Sterling dropped from the squad after the first preseason game?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. No, it was the first one. Pretty sure.
I remember it was the first,
or at least the second one. I'll look.
First Man City game for technical reasons. Remember, that's what it was.
Madrid that you got dropped after.
The Sassy. Well, how can you say drop from the preseason game? He's trying to find. He's supposed to drop from preseason game. What are we doing here? I'm trying to drop from preseason game.
No,
the Sassy. I don't remember any discussions about the Sassy leaving in the summer. Chill well, but no one's gonna pay 200 grand a week for him. Do you know what I mean? That's our shit.
He's one of those. I think he's one of those where I do wonder with Chilwell if he would be one where they just accept anything or they're going to penny pinch, because we haven't got an offer from him yet. But I don't think we've had any reports of what they want.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a that depends. But yeah, this thing about we didn't. I think didn't we? Yeah, we sold a lot last year for a lot of money.
We sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
We made 220 million,
12,
I think.
13, 14, 15, 16. We sold 7, including academy players. We sold 17 players, and then we let 4 players go on a free.
Yeah, those were down to contracts, weren't they? Send into Paris again.
I'm checking right now, and the Sterling was not even on the. Oh, he was on the bench. He came on for Celtic, so I think it was after Celtic. He just got dropped completely.
By the way,
the second game, right, or first?
That was the
preseason game.
Yeah, the second game.
That was the second game
of the preseason. Yes.
Going back to the game quickly, because I want to touch on a couple of other things. And another one of the things that annoy me in Resco, and I do think this goes back to what you said, Marshall, in terms of plan B, not necessarily in style of play, in terms of substitutions. Like, his subs today were shit. Like, let's be completely frank, they were shit. Like, and it's all like for like, and that's what annoys me. Like, I understand.
I don't agree with that, but yeah, go ahead.
I think that, like, outside of like taking a centre back off for a right back, but you had 3 centre backs playing anyway. They were all like for like. You took a winger off for a winger. You took a striker off for the backup striker. You took a centre back off for a right back, but the centre back that was right back to centre back. But it was all for me. It was all the wrong players who came off, and it was all, well, for 2 of them it was the wrong player that came on. But honestly, for 1 of them he had to come on. Like, Gusto needs to fuck off. Quite honest, at this point, he's pissing me off. He needs to fuck off.
He's got a vibrator, man.
But it's my phone. It was my dad. I need to call him back in a second.
Oh, apologies.
What's it called? I'll be honest. After watching this game, keeping Neto on and putting Neto on the right wing is a waste of time. At this point, he might as well play left wing or not play. Like, at least when he was left wing, he has the ability to like make a movement and cross it in first time. On the right wing, in this system, he's completely useless at the moment. So if you're going to take Sancho, put Sancho on in that position, he needs to be the one that comes off. Putting Nkunku on for Jackson, I understand Jackson was crap, but he's more likely to score than anyone else in our attack. He's more likely to score than Nkunku. And I'll be honest, if you're going, my thing with Nkunku is if you're going to bring him on, I'd have liked to see Palmer go out to the right so he gets a bit more space and time on the ball, and he wasn't good today. And then keep Jackson on, so all of a sudden you've got 3 goal scorers on the pitch.
I agree with that.
You've got 3 guys who are meant to be goal scorers on the pitch, and you've got another guy that's going to help Jackson in terms of crashing the box. Obviously, Jackson has issues with crashing the box and being positioned correctly. That's another issue. But, like, vary up a little bit. But no, it's bringing Nkunku on for Jackson, and Nkunku did fuck all in the time he was on. Yeah, he, like I said, was fucking awful. Sancho was good. At least he scored. Big up to him. But it's just like, same shit.
Over 100 of you, smash up the like button, please. Because I disagree with you and a few of those. Like, I feel like I didn't think Gusto was bad. I think Gusto did help in the midfield to try to bring the attack more towards them instead of just waiting for them to come out of position just to find opportunities. So I think Gusto was effective in trying to bring the ball up and at least get the attack going. And I don't even think, listen, you guys know I don't like Nkunku. You guys know I've did this whole 180 turn on Nkunku. But I'll be honest, even when Nkunku came on, I wasn't expecting much of anything. But he was actually doing good link-up play. He set up Palmer for that one shot Palmer took, and the other Palmer saved it. Like, that was Nkunku's doing. And I can even show you. Like, I thought he was okay. I thought the subs in general were effective. I mean, Sancho came on. No one expected Sancho to fucking score the worldie that he did, and he finally did. So, and I understand why he took off Nani. I didn't want him to take off Nani because, you know, a fully fit Nani stays on there. But because he's not fully fit, because he's coming back from an injury, he's still managing the minutes.
I know, man.
But,
Noni stank. Noni stank today, man. He deserved to come off. He stunk today. Less effective in the second half than he was the first half.
But like in terms of like who's gonna likely give you a goal, do you think it's gonna be
I
Nani or Neto?
thought Noni was fine. Like I don't think he was amazing. I thought he was fine.
That's the way I'm thinking about it because I agree.
I think the way I look at it is I don't think he did. I don't think he did either, Andrew. But I think it goes back to what I said. I think on the right, and it comes back to another issue we've spoken about to death, and particularly myself and others with our winger core. Like, is it on the right? Our most effective winger on the right is Noni. Like Neto went over to the right and was even worse than he was even worse than Noni. If you're going to play Neto, he has to play on the left at this point. But that means if you bring in Sancho on, with how he's played the last couple of games, he has to play on the left as well. So we're in a shit position with our wingers where the only guy on the right that looks like he's going to be effective is Noni, which is why I'd like to see maybe Palmer go out there, at least try it, to give him more space on the ball, give him a chance to whip balls in, give him a chance to get in the same positions Noni does on the edge of the box and see if he can get a score. Again, I know he had his chance today and was shit, but just vary up a little bit there. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like Neto was actually threatening with the crosses on the left-hand side and they were good. I liked what he was doing. He goes to the right after the sub and is shit. He's ineffective. He's not doing anything because he's one-dimensional. And the issue he has, which I don't put on him, this comes back to the bozo behind him, who again is pissing me off. If no one's going to overlap him and not create space for him, he's got nothing to do with pass back inside because he's so one.
We don't overlap though. Like, this is not
but he means like giving like options.
Scott, we don't do overlaps. Like, why are we acting like we do overlaps?
No, but Ahmed, sometimes we can do that. But there were times when Gusto could and was so slow. It was like, by the time he actually started to do the overlap, the attacker died and he had to pass back inside.
But there's, I feel like sometimes we. Let me show you something here. I was looking for that Nkunku pass, and there were moments where like Gusto's doing the right thing. We're just not finding him. Like here, for example, and this is again, I don't know what you want to knock this up to. This is
like a really good spaceman anyway.
This was the Gusto did actually overlap a few times, but he just never got the ball. And in this play here, like for example, if Neto picks up his head, he finds Gusto making this run here. And this is actually not a bad run, and then you can cross it inside.
No, Marshall. Who do you think Neto is? It's the same conversation we had in the last game when you were talking about playing, or someone talked about playing Sancho playing it to Nkunku when he's making that run. Who the fuck do you think Neto? What's he meant to do here? Do some immense backhill through a guy's legs?
Yeah.
Like
but
even if
you see the run, it's like I don't know, man. Like
no, he can't get that ball to him. Unless it's not. This is not.
But Gusto's making the right run. Is what I'm trying to point out.
No. He's not making a right run because he's central.
I'm sorry
to
say this.
Yeah. He's central. If he's wider, or even if he'd actually done the other way and actually done his run around Neto,
but then there's a huge gap.
No. But if you look at what Enzo is right now, right? Enzo shifts.
Enzo was being wide.
Right. Enzo shifts.
Enzo should be making.
Yeah, they should be swapped. Yeah,
they should be swapped. That's what I'm saying, but. I felt like at the same time, bro. Listen, I paid £50 million for Pedro Neto, bro. I should be getting that sort of ball. I'm sorry to tell you that, but I should be expecting him to be
Ahmed. I don't know who you think Pedro Neto is.
What are you talking about?
He's a £50 million player that I brought.
Yeah, but he's not.
No, we're not talking about Fabregas. We're not talking about Ronaldinho or.
This is a simple pass. I don't think this is that crazy.
No,
I'm not asking you to rainbow flick it. Ronaldinho type pass.
There's a defender right there as well.
Because you failed last time. Go forward a couple frames
to
the point where he can actually play the pass, because this is not the part where he needs to make the pass, by the way.
Well, let me
because this is getting from the beginning. No, keep going forward. It's forward. By the way.
I know. I want to give you more context. He had the ball here.
That's
You know,
fine.
there's
That's
all
a
this
touch.
time he didn't
That's a bad
actually
touch,
control
I
it.
Bad
cool.
touch, so he's looking at the ball trying
That's
to
the
control
hang on. That's
And
the
the
point
pass
at
is
which you
here.
play
At
it.
this point, it's too late, but it starts from
No,
a bad
go back,
touch.
go back, go back a little bit.
No.
Pause. Oh, bro, trying to do this with you is hard. Go forward to when the point. The gusto is like where he can actually basically. What I'm trying to show you is there's a point at which he can. If he passes where you stopped it.
So when
if
do you,
think he can
Marshall,
pass
where
it
do you want to
here?
pass
By
it
the
from?
way, sorry. If you think he can pass it here, we're losing the ball immediately because Gusto's not making that pass.
Yeah,
that
the
he puts
defender
through.
would have intercepted it quickly.
Go
He
forward
could
a
have
little bit.
backheeled it, man. He could have backheeled it.
Oh,
No, but
go forward a little bit. Little bit more.
Gusto
Little bit more.
is not.
There. This is where he
Gusto
should
is
make
not.
the pass. Hold on. This is where he should probably make the pass. And again, I don't know who the fuck you think Pedro Neto is making a reverse backheeled pass.
Guys, it's not even just that.
He's worth 50
hold on.
British pound
It's not even
sterling.
that.
He's
No,
a
no,
regular
no,
Premier
I
League
don't care.
striker. He should be able to do it.
No. The weight of pass
Shut up, Ahmed.
that Neto would have to play
You're talking nonsense.
for Gusto to get it and the defender not to block it off
Yeah.
or to reach it first. Neto's not doing that, bro. Neto's not of that quality.
So then
Nor
sell him.
is
Sell him,
Gusto
he's not Chelsea
on
quality.
that wavelength. What?
Tell him that he's not Chelsea quality.
I shot him, man.
I didn't say Chelsea quality.
Sorry?
This is wearing
I didn't say
Kunku,
Chelsea
you know.
quality.
Yeah, that was good. That
By the
was.
way,
That
and
was
Kunku
good.
Played it sexily off with him. You know what I mean? This is what
Also,
happens
wait,
when
no,
you play
hang on. Have we?
What?
Sorry. Have we just witnessed in the same play that Neto actually did a better pass than the one you're asking him to do? So? Is that what we just witnessed?
Not really.
He almost
No, he did.
What,
He did. He did.
what do you mean not really? Because that was to create a chance.
No.
For,
Let's do that again. Can I get a replay, please? Can I get a
Oh my
replay?
God. You've
Can I get a
actually,
replay?
I've realised it now. You actually didn't go through this before you came up with this to realise that Neto's actually done a better play, getting it to Nkunku to lay it off for Palmer.
Oh,
You're
Surfer,
right.
Surfer.
I rest
Surfer,
my
you've been
case.
missing.
Case
Surfer, you've been
dismissed.
missing for a while.
No, but I was just
And
pointing
by the
out
way, if he
Malo
did,
Gusto
by the
does
way,
not
if he did
have
pass
a
to
power on that,
Gusto,
bro.
what would Gusto have
Hold on,
done? By the
guys,
way, do you reckon he would have done
Surfer,
anything?
Drive it
You've been
forward and
missing
then
for a
cross
while.
inside.
You
Oh,
think?
I'm
Surfer,
pointing.
you've been missing.
Drive it
Surfer, you've
forward
been
and cross
missing for
So
a
you're
inside.
gonna
while.
pass the defenders
You're
quite
doing
easy.
even lucky
Sorry,
to
it's
get
like
that
four
stuff out.
voices at the same time.
Yeah.
Surfer, you've been hold on. Surfer, you've been missing for a while, so you probably don't know. Ahmed will like say things without having evidence. Just like when he wanted to bring up this theory of Gallagher last season being better.
Oh, it might be
and,
better that Surfer missed that. Yeah, actually.
He wanted to,
Oh, no,
so
no.
that's what Ahmed's on that right now.
I just went into a rage coma. That's why I never came on the panel that time. Yeah, but so we've actually with actual
This is better.
what we found out here, Scott and Prime and Chris. What we found out here, and Oliver. What we found out here is that these guys haven't actually gone through the entire clip to find out that not only did Neto recover the ball, he actually made a better pass that went on to create a chance for us instead of the pass that they wanted to do, like some rainbow back flick, like they're in fucking pro clubs, to try and get to Gusto. Who probably would have miscontrolled it anyway.
I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you, Salva. I'm sorry to tell you, Salva. No. Listen, I'm sorry to Salva.
It took me 5 seconds to destroy. Do you know what I mean?
No, you didn't really destroy anything.
He did.
You didn't destroy anything because the reality is he lost the ball. You know what I mean? He lost the ball firstly. Right?
Ahmed, I'm getting a call from your next of kin. They say to drop you off at the hospital, bro. I beat you so badly. That's what happened right there. Yeah. Right there. They said, leave my boy alone. They keep replaying the Simpsons meme. Stop. He's already dead. Stop it.
Fair enough. But listen, on a serious note, obviously, that was a much harder pass for Neto, right? But I go back to something that I spoke about previously, which is quality, right? A quality player, a certain type of player that we could buy, could have probably made that pass, realistically speaking. But
absolute nonsense. I tell you why, right? First of all, Neto miscontrolled it, right? Which you failed to. Both of you failed to mention in that Neto miscontrolled it. So what his vision? No, hang on. So his vision is not there. He's actually looking at the ball, trying to claim it. Then what he does is he wins the ball. Makes a better pass to Nkunku, who lays it off to Palmer to have a chance to score. So actually, he rescues his own miscontrol has a better pass and we have a chance instead of it going off the Gusto and probably nothing happening.
Exactly.
That's what happens. Right?
Well, we don't know that, man. We don't know that.
Enzo wouldn't make that
We haven't seen that.
What would
reality.
you rather?
Haven't
What would
seen
you
that
rather?
reality.
You'd rather see go to Gusto or maybe go to Nkuku and lay off to Palmer, or
I would personally like
to
it to go to Gusto.
This is what I'm
And you
talking
think
about.
Gusto will take on the defender?
Let me tell
as
you
well?
right now, Enzo would not make that pass if he miscontrolled it, like Neto did.
Yeah, because Enzo's shit. He's not of the quality, so I mean, we're not surprised there.
Get this guy off, man. If we're having a serious discussion, get this fucking guy
No,
off.
Ahmed, who are you
Get this
expecting?
guy off.
No,
Get this guy off.
Ahmed.
I'll chip his teeth. I swear to God right now.
It's fine. Ahmed, question, right?
He gets
Who
a
are you
yellow for now,
expecting-
Surfer. On the right, he gets
Who in this squad are you expecting to make that pass? Ahmed. I have two questions for you.
Wait, if you give him a yellow, then he gets a red.
Don't ask
Two
me too many
referees.
questions.
There's
He's
no
still
rules
coming-
against two
he still
referees.
doesn't-
No,
he
no,
still
no,
doesn't give me an
stop,
answer who we couldn't sell last year.
No, stop. Let me answer my question. Who in this squad are you expecting to make that pass?
I'd probably say Cole Palmer can make that pass, in my personal opinion.
All right, cool.
Didn't
Thank
make
you.
any of those.
Now,
Okay, hold
name
on.
me. No, hold on. No, stop. Let me. My second question.
Mm.
Now, name me 5 players in world football that are making that pass. That are not at Chelsea, obviously.
Olise, Musiala,
Mhm.
Wirtz,
Mhm.
Ahmed Abdi,
cool.
Andre Santos. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Sorry, are they making that pass if they miscontrol it?
Absolute
that's fine.
fraudulence on that
No,
statement. right
that's
there.
fine. That's fine. No, don't send
That's
them off.
absolute
He's doing well until
Don't send him off.
and
Hey, hold on. Marshall, you
Go on.
ruined it. Do you see the point that I'm trying to make?
He can,
Yeah.
He's
he can
naming
listen to you. He's back.
superior. He's naming superior footballers to Pedro Neto. So why is he
Except for
expecting
Ahmed.
Neto to make that?
But here's the thing. Here's
I
the
didn't
thing.
take the Ahmed stuff seriously, Marshall. Right?
But here's the
Here's the
thing.
thing.
Here's the
Okay,
thing.
go.
Even if you think he should have made that, if you think those players made those passes, they're not making those passes if they miscontrol the ball.
The only point in me even bringing that up was the fact that I was just trying to say there was a moment where Gusto was making a good run there that if Neto doesn't miscontrol it, like is probably what Gusto was expecting, that he was going to control it, then he probably gets a better touch and that pass isn't as complicated as it is there. That's all.
Here's the thing, though. The point of the problem is with the Gusto run is that the Gusto run is too central. Okay.
Yeah.
The problem
That's
is,
fair.
and that's the thing that needs to be cut out as well, because Gusto can't do that role. Okay, he just simply cannot do that role. He should be on the outside. When Neto comes in,
Yes.
that's when Gusto goes on the outside and gives him the option then to pass, like I did when I set up Prime for his 2 goals yesterday in Pro Clubs, which he doesn't thank me for. But it's all good. But it's one of those things that Gusto needs to be. This whole experiment of Gusto playing in this middle needs to stop. He doesn't. He cannot. You're asking a player to do something at this moment he cannot do. Cucurella can do it.
By the way, Gusto
problem.
came on as a
Cucurella can
midfielder.
do that in
No, he
both.
didn't. He came on as a centre back.
Gusto
A right back.
Reece
Oh, he
James
was
can
in
probably
right.
do it. Reece James can probably do it. Gusto can play a right back at the moment and just right back. We should
By
just
the way,
leave him at right back.
Following on from that point, there was a few moments after he came on, and this I don't blame Gusto or the other player I'm going to mention. I blame this on the manager. Why in the fuck? And please, if someone has an answer to this, explain it to me. Because I seeing at times in that second half, Gusto inverting into midfield, dictating the play, and Enzo Fernandez in effectively the right back position, waiting to receive the ball out wide.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is better than Enzo Fernandez, according to Meshka.
Like, can someone that isn't Ahmed trying to run jokes again explain
on
to
a
me
serious
why
note?
the
Okay,
fuck
let me be
that-
serious. Then.
Serious no.
Let me be serious. No, I actually don't know why he was doing that. The only thing I can generally think of is that maybe he thought that maybe Enzo could probably put in some crosses in, maybe. But I don't understand why Enzo was the one. Why not Enzo? Sorry, but Gusto was dictating play. That was a bit crazy.
Can I just
hear that
ask? I
point
never
too.
saw the subs bench. Was Reece James on the subs bench?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was on the top of the whole game.
Reece James. If you're gonna bring over and ask one of them to do it, Reece James is a better option to do that. He's the better option to do that. If you're gonna ask them, if you're
sorry,
gonna ask
Andrew, not even
them
that.
to do it.
You had 3 right backs on the bench, 2 of which have shown it might have been Legia Warsaw, 2 of which have shown they're capable of doing that.
Yeah,
He brought the one right back on. He brought the one right back on and this is why I say he fucked the subs up. He brought the one right back on out of the three of them that isn't capable of inverting, isn't capable of dictating play in midfield, isn't comfortable playing as a right centre back in a three, can't do any of that, and you brought him on. You didn't bring Action on. You apparently said you loved, and you didn't bring Reece on.
I know the excuse will be that Reece played a lot of minutes and they're managing him and all that. Fine, whatever. But you're absolutely right with the other one. Achimpong could have come on and done something. Gusto, what I will say is that I think Maresca's had a detrimental effect on Gusto this season because he was better last season, obviously. Okay, that's not to mean that Maresca's made everyone worse, which is not true. Okay, but definitely in the terms of what he's asking Gusto to do, Gusto cannot. Maybe he can say, "Yeah, I understand," but he cannot. His mind cannot compute it. What he's asking him to do, he doesn't think like that. I think Gusto, that's what we've always felt, even though Leon fans said to us he's better attacking than he was defending, which we know is bullshit, is that he's just an old school right back. An old school defensive right back. That's what he is. He's like a Paulo Ferreira. That's what he is. He's like an Aspilicueta. He's like an Aspilicueta. He's just a defender. And we're asking it's like when it's great, and maybe Aspilicueta could, maybe younger Aspilicueta could do it, but it'd be like asking Aspilicueta to try and do that. I don't think it would work so well. Or asking Ivanovic to try and do that in the middle. It just wouldn't work. I mean, it just wouldn't work. And we're asking him to do that. Cucurella can do it, no problem. We've seen Cucurella do it multiple times. Done it for Spain, done it for us. But asking Gusto to bring Gusto and ask him to do it when you had Reece James on there who could do it. We're only asking him to play a half. But actually, Pumpkin maybe could do that. I'm not 100% sure. But definitely Reece James could do that. Is a problem for me that he keeps on doing. And Gusto, it's just he just doesn't. He takes away from the attack instead of adding.
The other thing that he keeps doing that is annoying me, and I think I want to transition this. I know Steve joined, and he's big up Steve. And he probably wants to say something. He said like nothing. But I want to transition this to a conversation about someone else. The other thing he keeps doing, it kind of goes back to what I said about the Enzo thing. I'm getting really sick and tired. And this is not the first time we've seen this. We saw this earlier in the season with João Felix when he was in the team. We've seen it with Nkunku. I'm getting real sick and tired of these 10s or whatever they're meant to be in this system, basically playing like fullbacks because they're having to collect the ball so deep. Like, this is no way defensive Palmer's performance today because he sucked and he was the player I wanted to transition to this to. I'm getting real sick and tired of seeing him pick the ball up in our defensive third or on the halfway line. There's no reason for Palmer to pick the ball up there. He's not effective. He is most effective, and for all of Poch's faults, and there are many, the one thing he got right last season was just put Palmer in a role where he was just allowed freedom in attacking areas and got the ball in attack areas to do what he does best.
Yeah.
Maresca is with Enzo, it's fine. He's used to playing deeper. You can do that. I didn't really like it when Felix was doing because it didn't make sense, and I hate it with Palmer doing it because it's taking away from his game and getting him to do more in areas I don't want him to do more in. This is why partly I want him to go out for the right wing at least a couple of times. Number one, it gives him more space because there's more space out wide. Number two, he's further forward when he's receiving it. Like you can ask these guys, like, for all of the faults we've said about our team, we do have guys that are good on the ball. Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Cucurella. I think KDH is solid on the ball when he's on the ball. Lavia when he plays, obviously. I'm trying to think of others. We don't really have any other midfielders, do we? But like Reece James when he plays, I think Achimpong is getting there. Like these guys are comfortable enough in possession where you don't have to ask Palmer or Nkunku when he plays, or Felix when he was playing before, or whoever to drop that deep to pick the ball up. You don't have to. You shouldn't need to, because the whole point of this system is to have 5 in attack to match a defense, or to have a man advantage over the defense if they're playing a back 4. You take that away if you're getting one of the 10s and your main 10 in this system to drop deep to collect the ball. That defeats the purpose. That literally defeats the purpose of what the system's trying to do. So
I also the problem, I said it earlier in the chat, the problem I also have with Palmer is for some reason, I don't know why,
Omar raid, big up Omar. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it.
Don't mention that fraud's name. He's a fraud.
Smash the like on your way in. All that fun stuff. Big up Omar.
Something crazy there.
What I don't like, and I saw multiple times today, especially in the first half, is he's not shooting. He's pulling his shot too much. He takes the ball off his left and goes to his right for some reason. I have no idea why he's doing that whatsoever. But like I said, even that shot that Nkuku laid off for him, he placed it instead of like just burying it. Do you know what I mean? Like even start this season and obviously last season, I think he would have absolutely buried that. But for some reason, he's doing that, and I don't know what it is, because I've always felt that the only game he's ever been man marked in is Anfield away. He's never been man marked at all in the Premier League apart from Anfield away. He's given a lot of space. He's given a lot of. I think Scott's right. I think we've given him too much freedom. I think we're giving him too much freedom in the centre, and he's overthinking it now.
But that's.
I don't like him in the centre as much.
But Surfer, I don't know if you'd agree with me about Palmer this quickly.
Let's try. I haven't done so far tonight, so let's try and get a one.
No, but like this has been. I feel like it's been a thing for quite a while. Where, in my personal opinion, he's overthinking the process. He's overthinking the process right now, right? That's one thing I feel like he's been doing for quite a long time. Where he's not going through like his usual emotional things, right? He's like. I feel like he's overcomplicating stuff. That's what it is for me, more than anything else.
Yeah, he is. He's given. Like last season, he would do stuff just naturally. Like he wouldn't like think about. Yeah. It's like he's thinking 2 or 3 passes ahead sometimes, or like think the situation, and then he's deciding not to do it, or he's slowing down the ball, or he's not passing someone who's in a better position, or like I say, he's going to his right when he's got he's got a chance to have a shot on his left. And everything like that. And yeah, he's just not pulling. He's pulling his punches. That's what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather him. Like I know Neto didn't play well, but Neto was taking at least a couple of shots. You know what I mean? Palmer just was not doing anything really apart from that chance.
Did he do a few shots there
at the end? Neto had that one that went. He had a couple that went over the bar. He had the one that was close, sort of close. But
I don't think Palmer.
At least he was trying to get in a position to take the shot. Palmer was in great positions and just not taking the shot or going for an extra touch.
Oh, that shot, I knew it.
That was terrible. I think that part of it, and Daniel on Lewis's channel has spoken about this, I think part of it with Palmer as well, and I think this is a mixture of confidence. I think some of this is on Maresca as well, and maybe other facts, I don't know. He's lost that like wow factor to his game, and just like that decisiveness and that like just kind of where he can do moments out of nothing. Like so many times he got in areas today where that's him last season or early on in the season. He's taking shots quicker. He's taking less touches. He's overthinking it less, and he probably scores more. And I think that's the issue. Is like there were times today where he picks the ball up and you want him to make a pass or make a shot, and he's taking too many touches. He's not getting his head up, and I think it's a confidence thing, and also just I think a limitation of him. I think part of it is the system. Ultimately, I think more of it is confidence, but I think there is a bit of it that is the system, where he's not got that. He's not got that same level of, like, as I said, decisiveness he had last season.
By the way, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Doesn't matter if he's left footed or right footed. You're in that position. He's put himself in that position. He gets in a good position. He's got a chance to shoot and goal, and he hasn't taken it because we saw that last season. So. Sorry, JC, that's absolute rubbish. What you put there, absolute rubbish. It's not Maresca. This is rubbish as well, Tayo. Which is you normally speak anyway. You know what I mean? It's not.
Welcome back to Casually FC.
That's his choice. He doesn't tell Palmer. He gives Palmer more freedom than Poch gave him. Poch was the thing that I said, we just give it to Palmer and see what he does. Maresca's giving him. I think Maresca's giving him too much freedom. And too much time to think about stuff.
See, sir, for the chat's missed you, so they're trying to ask all the dumb questions right now.
Tyro's just the chat version of Ahmed on these streams. So
really, but you know what, man? Shout out Tyro. You're speaking facts.
Yeah, you would say shout out Tyro.
Don't let Surfer put you down, man. You know
shut up, man. Can't even see you at the bottom, man. You just stay there.
Sorry, man. I'd rather be hidden. Sorry, man. Bridge Nation, man. Your voice will be heard.
Ahmed, we can't see you because of what?
Don't worry, I don't want to speak to him. Don't worry. Someone doesn't want
relegated. Look how bad you are. You're next to real Chris. That's how bad you are, right?
That's next a positive, man. Big up Chris, man. That's my guy, man. Big up Chris.
See, even Tyro's offended by what I called him.
Sorry, man.
Team you, Ahmed.
So I mean,
Hold that on.
you've been Steve, you've been taking a bit of a backseat listening to us converse. I mean,
Hey, I'm
is there anything that
saying-
stand?
I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
What's good?
Is there anything that stands out to you from what we said that you agree with or disagree with?
I don't
Hey,
even
Steve, you're a
remember.
Leicester fan.
What? I said I'm faded, bro. What are we doing?
I said, are you a Leicester fan?
What? No, I'm not a Leicester fan.
Are you a Chelsea fan?
No.
So why are you here?
He's a
What
football
do you fucking
fan.
mean a Leicester fan? What?
Did you say Leicester fan?
Why are you here? Why are you here?
No. Why did you say Leicester?
Because I'm wondering why you're here.
But we didn't play Leicester.
Because I freaking that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Are you an Ipswich fan?
Ipswich and Leicester are not the same thing. I just want to let you know, Prime.
They're both
I hate to
relegation
be
strikers.
that- I hate to be
Regardless,
passionate.
why are you here?
Because I'm chilling, man. What's good? How you doing? How's your day been?
Okay.
Just seeing what's up with the Chelsea lot. That's why.
You don't fucking. This guy. He knows we're competing in that European spot with him, and he's over here like, no, I'm just checking to see how the weather is over in Chelsea.
I
man,
am.
you know? Just wondering, what's going on? You guys need the Palmer
weather's
need some
good
money?
for- The weather's good for the two-time Champions League winners, but continuously.
Yeah. I mean, did you actually were you able to watch our game, Steve?
Yeah, I was on Lewis's watch song. Yeah, I was watching.
What'd you think?
Okay. Yeah, first 20 minutes you guys battered them. Should have scored. And then after that, when did Ipswich score? 25th minute or some shit? 30th?
19th minute, pretty much.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. So they scored. They definitely scored against
You're
Run-Up
spot on. The
Play.
first 20 minutes, up until that goal.
Yeah, they definitely scored against the run-up play, and your team gets deflated after freaking adversity at times. That's something I noticed about you guys.
It was the same thing last year, pretty much.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a manager issue. He's got to hold some kind of criticism, because if it was going well, he'd get credit, like earlier in the season, obviously. But yeah, I think y'all just got to stop playing Jackson as a striker. Like, I don't think that fits him. I don't think
we've got no choice. There's no other choice.
Yep. And he doesn't fit anywhere
The
else.
recruitment gets there.
No other choice.
What about
No,
Neto?
it's not.
Didn't Neto play a game 2-3 as like a false nine?
It's not.
So where else should Jackson play? Is my other question.
Just swap Neto Jackson. See what happens. I don't know. Why not?
So, sorry, I'm confused. So,
Are you high or drunk?
You know what? You got you there. Scott. Why not?
You see why I asked? Why are you here?
So your answer to Chelsea's problems in front of goal with our strikers is to put Neto, who scored 4 goals in like 5 years.
Oh shit! Really?
Up front.
4 goals.
Yeah.
And he
It's
doesn't play
bad.
up front. He doesn't even play up front. That's just
His
from
goal
the-
scoring
from the
rate
wing.
To the
is
Hellfire.
shocking
That's a
bad.
Chelsea.
That's just from the
quote here.
wing
We'll put you
scoring
here
goals.
right next to Scott. You can talk face to face.
What's up, Scott? Okay.
Answer for your crimes.
I'll be back in a second.
He's not even be here to.
No, I'm going to grab a drink. I'll be back in a second.
And again,
But no,
when I asked why is he here, hey, they call me a man.
All right, Prime, let it go. We get
Look,
it.
I watched the game.
Let the man answer.
Listen here, Prime. See ya. I watched the game
Hey,
at 9
hey,
a.m.
Hey,
today.
Steve, you don't know, you're not God. See, if you guys actually watch Sarcasm City, you'd know why that's funny. Okay.
Anyways, so it's what? It's like 7 at night, and I watched the game from 9 to 11. Sorry that happened. Look.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 8.
So I remember a good amount of the game, but I do have to say, I do think the Ipswich goals were like, I don't know. I do feel like that like the cross for the header was very good. I do feel like Sanchez though should have got that. But he's a bum, so it's like, what do you expect out of him? You know what I'm saying?
It's like trying to ask Surfer to turn up to Casually, man. Just never know.
Are you talking about the second goal?
You know,
Second
I
goal,
have more time on this channel, and before when it's called KH No Filter Football than you have in a lifetime. All right, you know what I mean?
He's not wrong.
So
You just hold it. Yeah? I am this channel before its name change. I'm heritage to this channel. All right?
therefore,
Yes,
so
yes. I
you're
can't
just
lie, Andrew is
you're
talented.
basically
Real
just
Chris.
saying I'm an old man. You're
No,
not
Andrew,
man.
you was here like even before me, man.
Real Chris and I are the OGs of this channel.
Hey, Taylor, agree. Yo, Taylor.
So basically,
Surfer,
basically,
so am I.
so Surfer,
Oh, yeah,
so
sorry,
Surfer,
yeah.
so Surfer is a WWE legend. He's in a WWE Legends contract. Is that
Yeah, and
Surfer?
you're AEW at this moment in time. What AEW is right now. What
Love you,
AEW
man.
is right
Listen.
now.
Yeah.
Actually, wait.
Listen,
Actually,
love you, man.
Surfer is
You're John
basically
Moxley.
Surfer is
Oh, damn.
basically
I like
Oh,
him.
dear.
Surfer is basically Dennis.
No.
Surfer is basically Dennis Wise, and Ahmed right now is your beautiful legend.
Ahmed is Rhea Ripley.
Oh my God, what?
Wait, what? If I'm Rhea Ripley, hey, I'm over.
No,
I'm
Rhea
over.
Ripley's good. Rhea Ripley's
Yeah, I
good.
know, like he's like one of the top ones.
Ahmed's
Disrespectful.
Ahmed's Marina Shafir. That's what Ahmed is, man. He's Marina
No,
Shafir.
Ahmed is Korea first season.
Wow.
Wait, what?
No, Prime. That saying he's Kukurea in any way, shape, or form implies he was good to begin with.
No, but I knew that would annoy Ahmed. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Kukurea, man.
Actually, I had a question. Why do you
Ahmed
think
lost the ball.
Cucurella? Why do you think Cucurella is your like most prolific attacker in 2025? Like,
Oh, don't know. Hey, don't
No
ask
idea.
that question.
Don't know.
Ahmed won't like that. Ahmed won't like
I
that.
mean, it's
question.
quite simple, man, because he's able to play the role quite well, and one of the things you have to give Kukurea credit for is that he's got good good instincts. He's very
He's a good ball
aggressive.
striker. Yeah.
He's very aggressive,
No, he's
right?
a terrible
Like,
ball striker, I'll be honest.
no. It's not about him being a ball striker. Kukurea just knows when the ball's gonna come. He's very good at his timing, and he's very good.
Because he doesn't think. He doesn't overthink
Yeah,
things.
but on the lamp,
He doesn't
Nah, yeah,
overthink
he
things.
just crashed in the box,
He
and
just doesn't think things. He just tries and does something. That's what he does. Like even today, even today, he's the only one who would have thought sliding in to do that. No, none of the others would have thought about it. None. He's the only one.
Oh, for the
I know
first
he's-
goal.
Yeah, he's the only one who would have thought to do that. None of the others would have thought to do that.
Mhm.
They
I
would
don't
have
think
watched.
he would actually
Yeah,
do that.
I'll be honest.
Across.
There's no reason why he's been as good as he has been at doing that in attacking areas, because he's the one player that you can comfortably say has improved in certain areas under Maresca, or one of a few, because he has never, even when he was playing left wing at, I think it was Getafe, he's never had this kind of attacking instinct. He's never had this kind of attacking instinct in his career before. You go up and when he was a Brighton, even the year where I think he was the season before we bought him, he was best left back in the league. Even then, he got one goal. I think that whole season, which was against United. As a player as a left wing, he never had real good attacking instincts when he was at Brighton. He never really had ability to crash the box, to score. His ball striking is still terrible, as we saw from the shot he had in the first half.
Yeah, you're right.
Like he's never been good at that. So I'll be honest, outside of just Enzo coaching him into that or him just picking that up, there should be no reason. There is no reason why he's suddenly got that ability. I have no idea.
Even Enzo Fernandez does that more now than any of the attackers. Did nearly done it second half, just like crashing the box.
Yeah, man.
More, but then he went out wide.
How much do you feel we can get for Kukurea?
Eat shit.
He's not only improved Kukurea and Caicedo, Daniel. Enzo's better than Stephen.
Enzo's improved, yeah.
Ahmed, okay, let's assume this summer.
Jackson was good until he got injured, like running.
Let's assume this summer that we saw Kukurea. Who are you replacing?
Oh, it was good.
I don't ask
I'm just thinking about guys. Scott, give me time, please. I'm just thinking now. Obviously, no UCL football. We're gonna have to start selling guys.
180, Ahmed. 180.
No, Ahmed, that's fine. Fine. I'm telling you, who did we replace him with?
Maybe we should sell Ahmed.
No, genuinely, bro, it's actually hard.
I'd have to pay someone to take Ahmed off me.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, Chelsea,
no,
we
it's
should
not.
all
It'd be very genuinely quite hard to.
It's not true.
Yeah, it will generally be very hard, to actually sell a guy to replace a guy like Cucurella right now, particularly for what he does for us. But like
Theo Hernandez.
We're not
Theo
gonna sell him.
Hernandez doesn't do what he does. Theo Hernandez
He's not good. He's not as good to me, but
no, but he doesn't do what he does. That's the difference. Like you need to do.
Ahmed, you praise
all the
Theo
money
Hernandez a lot, right? But
Yes.
it's weird that the actual best left back, left wing back in this area, you never mentioned DeMarco. You never mention him.
I'm never
Why?
going to get him though. There's no point of asking for DeMarco.
No. I'm
never
not saying sign him. Okay, I'm not saying sign him.
Wait,
now. I'm just
wait.
saying-
Hold on. You okay? You want Theo Hernandez, and that's fine. But when you're offered DeMarco, your answer is we're never gonna get him. What makes you think we're gonna get Theo Hernandez?
No, that's not it. That's not what I was talking about. What I was saying.
No, that's what I'm asking right now. Because
I know.
Italian guy. Left
where's
back.
the logic come up in that?
He's also Italian. He's also Italian.
No, but that's a different thing. I'm not saying that we're getting any of them. But Ahmed, you always speak about Theo Hernandez, but the actual best left back, left wing back in this area, you never
I don't mention guys that I don't think we can attain. That's just the way I
but the thing is this: DeMarco can only play wing back. He can only play wing back.
I know. I'm not saying so. I'm not saying we're signing these guys.
No. What I'm saying is DeMarco is only suited to a wing back system. He can't play.
I know that. I'm not saying we should sign any of these guys.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying if anyone thinks about it.
I know. Yeah, we know he's only suited for left back, or wing back. But again, when we're talking about some of the best players in the world, or when you always talk about these guys that are better than Cucurella, you never talk about the guy that's actually better than Cucurella in DeMarco, or arguably better than Cucurella in DeMarco. You talk about Theo Hernandez, who is not better than Cucurella.
I'm talking about replacing. Yo, listen, that's my guy. I appreciate football.
Hernandez has been trash for 2 years.
Yeah, well,
AC
Milan
for
like for 2 years too.
And Steve, you know what's weird, right? If Ahmed had been saying DeMarco for Cucurella, then
I would never say that though. You know, I would never say that. So then there's no point in me saying that.
Yeah, because you don't know ball.
No, because you're acting idiotic. You literally got told he plays wing back, and he's also from Italy. These guys never leave.
Yeah, but
what's the point of me fantasy? What's the point of me doing? What's the point of me doing? What's the point of me doing a fantasy transfer? What's the point of me doing a fantasy transfer for a guy that's already in a better team than us and that's playing in the consistent football team? That's just stupid of me to be doing that.
Theo Hernandez is not as good as Cucurella.
Okay, I don't think I would have to necessarily disagree with you on that. But my point is, I'm not gonna go ask for a guy that's only in a better team than us, that's playing in his home nation, that's getting paid well. Why would I ask him to come to my club when I know?
You want Barcola to come? You want Barcola to come to Chelsea, who plays in his home nation, that is getting paid well? You want Barcola to come to Chelsea?
Because Barcola is not gonna play often anymore. They've just literally got a guy called Kvaratskhelia in his position. So why would I not want to bring him in?
I guess kind of true.
They're gonna play Barcola in all comps though, like they've always done.
So it's up to him. You know what I mean? He's gonna get less appearances, but we can offer you more appearances.
But we ain't sound Cucurella. It's just
you're looking for a winger in Ligue 1. Don't go for Barcola is good, but like there's better wingers in League. Davitashvili at Saint-Etienne.
This is his breakout season, so I wouldn't personally go for him for such.
No. Who's that guy? Steve, who's that guy that plays for Lyon, the Georgian?
George is
a striker though, no?
Mikel Tato, he is a striker,
right?
Yeah, he's a striker.
He's cold. I watched him against Man United on Thursday. He's cold, bro.
He was great today. He was very man, bro. Lyon are good.
They lost their best winger though, man, didn't they? They lost Neymar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, but Malik Fofana is probably gonna be back with them on Thursday. They're gonna win like 2-0 or 2-1 or some shit.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm being honest. We're doing the striker talk and the transfer talk. There's two guys actually we should be getting, and no one else.
The The reality is, bro. Can I just talk? Can I just make this point? I want to make this overall point. Yeah, there's no point of us talking about fantasy transfers when we know the way our club operates, please. So,
Ahmed, I've already prepared myself. I know who's coming.
Hold on. There's no point talking about fantasy transfers where we know the way our club operates, but yet you think Theo Hernandez is attainable. Okay, cool.
Listen, yes, if our club wanted to do it, but the reality is they're not going to do it. So
well,
that's why I don't. Listen. But again, I didn't mention his name. You mentioned his name.
Now it's if our club wanted to do it. Now it's if our club wanted to do it.
Ooh, yes, if our club wanted to do it. But listen, and also
if our club wanted to do it, we would.
You're literally in the same group chat as me. You're literally in the same group chat as me. Yeah, and you would know in 3 weeks ago what I said. There's no point of us doing fancy transfers anymore. That's why I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just saying I know what my club's going to do already. There's no point of me asking for something that's not going to happen.
Wait.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So again, we know who's coming into.
Yeah, I already know what our transfer window is going to be in the summer.
So what's the point of me asking?
What do you think it's going to be, Scott?
It's going to be probably I'm about 90% sure it's going to be Houston, Gittins, and Delap. That's the only incomings I see 100%. Guaranteed. Anything else is a bonus. But those are the only 3 guarantees I see come in.
I think
plus obviously.
I don't see Gehi happening. I genuinely think they'll go for Houston instead. Yeah, I think they'll go for Houston instead. He's cheaper.
I think Arsenal will sign Hoyson. I think Arsenal are going to sign Hoyson because he's going to be the replacement for Saliba.
But Safa, listen.
I don't think they're anywhere. Yeah, Saliba's not going anywhere.
No. Saliba will end up leaving in a year or two.
No, but I don't think they sign a centre back, bro. They've already got centre backs. I think they need other positions. The reason I think as well we get Houston is there are only 2 teams. Well, I think 3, but one of them aren't getting him. I think there's only 2 or 3 teams in for him. Real Madrid aren't going to buy him because they have no need to spend 50 mil on a centre back currently.
Yep. And they don't do those sort of things where they where they pay out release sources straight away. They don't do that.
100%. I think I want to say the other team. I want to say I saw Juve get linked with a return, but I don't know why he'd go back there, and they're not going to pay that money. We're the only other team in for him, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense of what these guys want to do.
Well, I swear we was linked with not.
It just makes sense as well with what we want to do. The age, the money we can pay 55 and split it out over 5 years, so it's 11 mil a year, and it's not the release clause and whatever bullshit. And then we'll play him, and Cole will experience the same shit we've seen this season, and people wonder why it's not working, and I think it's going to change, and then we're going to be back in. Time is a flat circle. Peter said it before. Time is a flat circle. We're going to be in the same shit if we do those transfers again next summer.
Yeah, and listen, we already know the club is doing everything they can to get Delap already. They've been doing shit behind the scenes the last few months, just on that player specifically. We already know about. And Gittins, bro, they've been glazing Gittins for the last 4 or 5 months as well. So we at least know those are the 3 main guys that are coming in alongside Esteval. Paez most likely going to Strasbourg, if I'm not mistaken.
If we sign Turkey, I'm going to kill myself.
We're never going to get Turkey. Who said we're getting Turkey?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We signed Turkey.
Wait, why?
Because he's shit. That's why.
No, he's not.
He is a 2026 comps player. I mean, he's a new version of comps player. He is rubbish, Steve.
Nasty work, man. Nasty work.
He's rubbish. He was rubbish against Man United. Absolute rubbish.
What?
Is he the next?
What do you mean? So what?
Awar.
What do you mean? So what?
Same Awar didn't even.
Where is he playing now? Is he still in Saudi?
Saudi.
Who's your average winger who scored 2 against United today?
Oh, Barnes.
Yes.
What about
Barnes? Barnes is he's definitely
Barnes is not average.
Barnes is better than him.
Barnes is a decent player.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's only 21, man. He's only 21, man. I'm feeling
he's overhyped.
Wait, Marshall, did you remove him?
No, he's still there. I don't know why.
Yeah, there you go. He just
Turkey.
You triggered him.
He's another overhyped wonder kid. That's what Turkey is.
Isn't Turkey quite young though?
By the way, on Gittins, by the way, still being dropped. Didn't start today against was it today or yesterday against Bayern?
Yesterday.
Saturday.
Another one is overhyped. Gittins. Another one.
8 goals. He's in the Dortmund team. He's got 8 goals on the season. He has the same amount of goals as Sesko, who he has the same amount of goals this season as Sesko. Actually, it might be less because I don't have Sesko sold
Another
recently.
overhyped one, the kid Sesko as well. Another overhyped one. The kid.
You know,
the same.
This
is why I keep saying, like, and I'll be real, like, we can talk about these other players, and it's nice to talk about other players, whether that be Mikatadze and all these other guys. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, we can't talk about needing quality and then talk about, let's, like, because I see it, and this pisses me off. I see people being like, I see people being like, but Delap's like be a decent signing. It's only 30 million. That's be a good signing. Cool. You're the problem. You're the fucking problem.
I wouldn't mind Delap for a couple of reasons.
Wait, Scott, you know what I hate the most? You know what I hate the most? You know what I hate? Yeah, people will be telling me we have to be competing for the title next season, but then I'm getting Gittins and Delap and flipping.
These players are shit, but we should still be finishing top 4.
I don't, bro. You know, yeah. Like, Taffy, you weren't here last week, yeah, because I asked this question last week, yeah, when we were playing in the Brentford review. If we get the signings we are getting, yeah, how do we people expect us to be competing with the league next season?
Exactly. People will hate on the manager saying that he's not good, but expect him to perform miracles. People will say that players are shit, but you'll overhype the squad when we go on a little run, just to then say that, but why didn't we sustain it and go and win the league? Players are shit, but yet you think that we should be winning the league, but yet the manager's not good enough, but you expect the manager to win the league. It's like, it's brain dead.
My problem, though, bro.
No, and I find it jokes, by the way, because on the Delap thing, I keep seeing people say they want Delap. Do you know what I find jokes? Because I saw someone tweet this because when he came on and beat Chalobah, which he did well for.
He killed
you know what's funny? And people will say this, by the way. People will say this to discount like Gyökeres or Osimhen or others. Like, Delap this season plays in a team where he has so much space to run into and attack.
That is true.
What's he going to do in a team where they come against low blocks? He has not played in that before. He has no idea what he's doing because he hasn't played in that kind of system before.
Exactly.
But here's the only argument I'll give towards those people who expect a title run or a type of challenge next season. And that's when you look earlier in the season, we were up there. And I think you guys can agree that part of the reason it all fell apart was because we just don't have as much good depth as we thought we did.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. I mean, listen, Nkunku's not been good. You know, we have Guy is not ready.
And we won't respect it.
No, you know what, Marshall?
Lavia is not fit all the time. We had Cassidy as a 6 at one point.
Marshall, you're right. We don't have the depth. But you know what? Buying the lap does not fix that and make our depth better.
I'm just saying. I get that. I get that. And
you know what?
In an ideal world, I buy Delap and I also buy an Osimhen, right? I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm just.
And bro, you know what?
Left wing rotation.
If we'd bought Osimhen last summer, this would have been the perfect summer to say go get Delap as a backup and get rid of Jackson.
Right.
I would have agreed with.
But you know what it is though? I kind of somewhat agree with what you say, Marshall. The only thing I would probably add to that is that we weren't respected early in the season, bro. I'll be honest. A lot of teams were generally going at us. We were facing teams that were trying to actually compete against us.
That's right, Daniel, because you predicted Liverpool to win the title, didn't you, Daniel? I forgot about that. Yeah, you predicted win the title. You really backed Slot, didn't you, Daniel? Sure. I remember.
But not
Surfer. This is the same Daniel, by the way. You know, remember when we lost to Ipswich earlier in the season? And Jorgensen played in goal. The same Daniel that laughed. I said, "See, I told you, Sanders not the problem." But whatever.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't think for me it was just you. I just think for me, my thing was the teams are competing with us, Marshall, more so than being doing what's happening a bit more now. Where they've been a bit more giving us a lot more respect in terms of the space we're getting.
But the thing is, it's like what you said earlier, Marshall. People. You gave credence, or you gave a little bit of a leeway to people because we were up there. We were up there because we were overachieving. This is what I said at the start of the season after the transfer window, not before the transfer window. I said we're in a top 4 race, but the biggest thing was Maresca, and because we would be inconsistent. We have a young manager and an inconsistent team, and that's what we're showing right now in the second half of the season. We just overachieved in the first half of the season. That's still keeping us somehow in this race. That's what it is. This is what I expected throughout the entire season. That's why I didn't even predict us to finish top 4. I said 6. I said 6 because of the transfer window and because of Maresca, because I didn't have enough thing to go on Maresca that what he could do. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, he's now doing inconsistent things because this is only his second full season.
Exactly.
As a manager, and his first in the Premier League. And for people to go, oh man, he's this and that. I would love to go back and actually in time and say, where do you expect us to finish this season after the transfer window, Maresca? Because I swear, if you said top 4 or higher than that, I call you a liar to your face.
They didn't. They didn't. Because Surfer, I remember going on panel shows and stuff when I said that we'll challenge for top 4 but finish 5th because I don't trust the defense and Sanchez. People were laughing because they thought 5th was too high. They thought we would actually struggle. So the fact that we're doing better than what people thought we would do, but again, because we were in a title race in December and now we've fallen off that, people are angry. But last season, when we had a terrible first half, and let's be honest, it's only 5 games.
It's only 5 games.
The end of the season, it's genuinely only 5. If you look at the run, actually only 5 games.
Yep.
This is not. This wanting and actually looking at the situation is 2 different things.
Yes.
Of course, people wanted top 4, but when you actually look at the situation and think logically, how could you be like?
I was going to say
again, just before you go, Scott, one comment quickly.
You didn't get the striker.
Expectations versus reality. That is the big problem we have.
Realistic
100%.
expectations. That's what the term is.
I was going to say,
customer service.
The perfect example of that is the conversation I think we had on here last time when we spoke about expectation for next season. I'm expecting, regardless what signings we make, to be in a title challenge next season. But I know if we finish a window where we get Houston, Delap, and Gittins, I know we're not challenging for the title, but I still expect to try and do that. But I'm not stupid enough to think that's going to happen.
Realization of it. It's one thing.
Yeah,
for example, to get a better manager. If we got a better manager, and my difference, people, why aren't you? We always get this thing now. Oh, why are you guys on? Oh, you were on Poch last season. Why are you on Maresca this season? Because my expectations of Poch are a lot higher than Maresca. Okay, given Poch's experience and what he's done in the past, so we should be going different at Poch than we have to do at Maresca because we have a whole.
We were doing a lot worse under Poch.
We have 10 years of watching Poch, especially in the Premier League, what he done, and he had a reputation. Maresca had no reputation. He was just a pep assistant. That's all he was, like that. So but I will say this: I'm not gonna have a go at people if they want Maresca to go. I'm not gonna fight people with that.
Exactly.
I don't have an issue with
a lot of people never want Maresca in to begin with.
Marshall, can you bring up Hitchens?
Can you put Haas' last comment on because I want to address this.
Yeah.
This is the usual response you get because they don't know. My expectations.
That's like getting Avram Grant to come into this club and expecting him to win the league.
My expectations of this club and my standards of this club are between 2003 and 2012, and this club has never reached those standards since 2012 on a consistent basis. Okay, we haven't reached that at all. Okay, we've not been in a title race under Roman and under these lot since we won it in 2017. Okay, not even in a title race. Okay, so my expectation. This is the point. You're using the wrong word. If you use standards, that's fine. The expectations are low because of what they are giving us. That's why you have the realistic expectations. For someone to, at the end of the transfer window, when we didn't sign a recognised goalkeeper or a goalkeeper I liked, and a striker, but we had barely in midfield, and we didn't have a good enough centre back or a one that that was at least a bit more experienced. For you to actually say to me, "I still split Maresca to get top 4," you're an idiot.
You know what annoys me? You know what annoys me? You know what annoys me, Safa, yeah? And I'm gonna say it like this, yeah. What I don't understand is, yeah, we all of us here, or not us here, but a lot of fans will tell you all these players are shit. Sanchez shit, Chalobah shit, all these players are shit. Yeah, they'll tell you that. They'll then tell you that the manager's shit, but then they'll be like, we have to get top 4. So please explain to me how are we making that make sense? You're saying this guy's part A shit, part B is shit, but you're still expecting part A to happen. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, genuinely, that's what really annoys me, bro. How can I have expectations for something that I'm saying is shit? You can't.
No,
this
is the problem. This is the problem here, right? No, it's not low. No, it's in. No, I just said my standards are 03 to 12, so my standards are very high. 03 to 12 is very high for me. Okay, but my standards haven't changed for this club. My expectations, given what's been put in front of me, have changed. That's what it is. My standards have not changed for this club. The expectations are given what's in front of me. Okay, I can't give you. I can't. If my expectations, if I support a Formula One team and I put in as a part-time minicab driver, I can't expect him to win the world title and challenge Max Verstappen. No. Okay, I cannot do it. So the expectations are different.
Well, what's funny is last
this
season,
comment, bro.
What's funny is Roman had us against our rivals. Roman left us with the world champ. Yeah, he did. Thank you. But Roman Abramovich. Hold on.
What was our Champions League? What was our Champions League record from 14 to when we won it? What was our Champions League record?
I'll answer this.
Oh, it wasn't too good, was it?
I'll respond to this but Roman Abramovich also left us with Rudiger and Christensen with 1 year left of their contract. He also left us with no backup wing backs. He also left us with no depth in midfield. He also left us.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not doing this.
He bought us a goal scoring striker, but he also left us with Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. He left us with no depth.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not doing this. Like trying to compare the two is ludicrous. Try. Like I understand Roman wasn't perfect, but I've used this analogy before. Like what Roman was doing was instead of us eating at a 5-star restaurant, we were eating at like a 3-star restaurant. We're now eating at fucking McDonald's, bro. We're now eating at McDonald's. Like I understand he wasn't doing things correctly.
Are you joking, Scott? With the recruitment? Are you joking?
Andrew, it was bad. We were consistently most of the time getting top 4. We were still in Champions League. We were still, and if we weren't, he was rectifying that to some extent. Like he was more often than not. Like if we were fucking up, next season we go and buy Kante best midfielder in the league. Like respectfully, I understand he was fucking up and doing stupidness. Cool, he was still doing that in other seasons. We still did that other season. Like
we were
ultimately
summer, and he kept.
Oh, listen, hang on. We still won things. No. We still won things, and again, it's not comparable. We just talked about how our most likely window, this window, is Delap, Gittins, and fucking Hoyson. We are never having we are almost never having a window like that under Roman. If we had Roman in charge right now and we're having the season we're buying Osimhen guaranteed in the summer. Osimhen would be here already, man.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me.
I'll give you the 2015 summer window. I'll give you the 2017 summer window.
Thank you.
Should we do that? Should we do that? On the strength of winning a title, winning the most games you've ever won, I think 30 league games. What did we do with following up that summer? What did we do?
But he didn't get him.
He didn't get him. What did we get?
Like this is the thing. This is the thing.
Take Pedro out of the 2015 summer window. Please look at that window.
Here's the thing that bothers me.
I cannot accept this revisionism. Roman Abramovich is the most important man in this club's history. He will ever be the most important man. And like I said, his standards between 03 and 12 never be beaten.
But here's the thing.
Since 2018, when he wasn't allowed in the country, he showed up for games, but really he wasn't running it. So he let other people run it, and their standards lowered in their recruitment.
I agree with what Surfer is saying, and I also agree with what Scott's saying. Obviously, like, it's not. We're like comparing apples to oranges, right? Because this ownership run a completely different operation than how Roman ran it. But the one thing I do not like is this revisionism that it's rules for thee, but not for me. When we're talking here, Roman wanted Lewandowski in 2021. He was ready to get him in 2022. Cool. There was links that we wanted Ronaldo 3 years ago, that we wanted Kvaratskhelia, that we wanted Osimhen. Who gives a shit about who they wanted, who he wanted? If you're not going to give praise for these owners for wanting certain players, then why the fuck are you giving it to Roman? Same thing goes for this whole, but Roman left us in winning mentality and we were in top 4 consistently and all this and that. Yeah, in the same token, you want to say, well, top 4 isn't a trophy and Maresca gets it. Who gives a shit? That's the bare minimum. But you're praising when Roman was doing the bare minimum. That's what I don't like.
Say, my thing about this is not about praising the new owners' recruitment and something like that. I just feel that our recruitment from about 2050 onwards, I think there's a lot more negatives than positives in our recruitment in terms of who we got, and there was no real like strategy. Whether you like the strategy or not, which I don't really like the strategy at all. There was no real like strategy in our recruitment
either.
For like till from 2015 onwards, essentially like that. And you know, we won a lot of trophies on that time. Absolutely, I will never turn down the trophies, but we as much as we won under Roman Abramovich, we always have this argument with Arsenal fans about why we're not bigger and stuff like that. It's because of the trophy count, right? We should have already surpassed them in how many trophies we should have won.
That's true. Because we're not that far away from them. We should have surpassed them.
Who said not true?
What?
Did someone say not true?
No, I said I agree with you. We should have already surpassed.
Yeah, we should. I mean, we should have won more league titles. We should have won more cups, but that's by the by. What I'm saying is that we are still seeing, even under these new owners, the recruitment for now 10 years is not good. It's just not good. Old ownership, new ownership. It is not good.
For me, like again, there's comparing the two is stupid because for all you look at what Cenac says, his comment, like even though there were mistakes that he made, and yes, there were a lot of mistakes, and we can talk about those separately to this. There was still a baseline with Roman. There was still a baseline that you understood, and we knew with him being here when it came to the league and whatnot, that if you're not meeting that, you're gone. And even if you are meeting that, you might still be gone, depending on if you piss him off. That baseline is no longer here. So for all the mistakes Roman made, and yes, there were a lot, I'd rather have that than this. Because those mistakes would eventually lead me to a league title or to a Champions League.
But that's not
like
true.
This is yes, they would. They'd ultimately lead me to.
No, what I'm saying is you're saying not meeting the standards, they're gone. That's not true. These guys have fired loads of people already because the standards aren't. Yes. The standards that they were not meeting.
No, Andrew, we have to you can look at and see why we fired them. They fired Potter because of the heat they got from the fans, not for any reason that they felt he wasn't hitting the target. The only reason he got sacked is because of the fan pressure. Because if they had standards, they'd have sacked him after we lost to Southampton. Or, at the very least, keep him until the end of the season and then sack him in the summer. Because there was no reason to sack him when you sacked him. You sacked him because of fan pressure. Pochettino, the only reason they sacked him is because he spoke up about them. Otherwise, he might not still be here. He might have been sacked in the season. He'd have started the season. If Maresca gets sixth with us and doesn't win the Conference League, I would bet money on him still being here next season.
I think the Conference League would be. I mean, honestly, you might be right. Never mind.
Hang on. Last season, they would have gone into this season with Poch had he not lost his head and started speaking out about them in press conferences.
Sir, Scott, this is something actually I want to say on Lewis's channel.
Not comparing the owners.
Because we were talking about when Maresca could get sacked. I think, if we don't get Champions League, we lose that Conference League. Or even if we win the Conference League, if we go to that Club World Cup and we don't have a good showing, because this whole thing is building up to the Club World Cup for us to perform well in. If we don't have a good showing at the Club World Cup, Maresca will get sacked.
That would be the single worst thing. That could be one of the worst things they've done for this squad.
I agree with you, but however, it's something that will happen. Like, it's very, very realistic.
Cool. That's not. By the way, that doesn't show me standards because you can't If there was a standard, you would be treating the Club World Cup and next season with we need to challenge, we need to get top 4. Which means if that's the case, you need to give the next manager the best possible opportunity. Which means sacking Maresca the day the season ends. If they do that, that shows me ambition and that shows me standards. If they sack him the moment the season ends, if we finish sixth.
But that's why I think they'll wait until it'll go to the Club World Cup.
But that's not standards.
I know it's not standards, but there's been no standard, bro. But I've been saying this. I've been saying this about when I keep talking about squad building, going from Potter style of play to Pochettino style of play to Maresca style of play doesn't make sense. Because you look at the players that we have, look at Gusto, phenomenal last year, the best right back in the league, arguably. We were saying that we don't miss James anymore. James can take all the time he needs. Now, all of a sudden, arguably, we need another backup right back. That doesn't make sense to me. Why are you going from two completely different styles? And if we sack Maresca, the next guy we bring in is going to be someone that has a completely different style of play, and we're going to have to go through another transitional season.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I think it just shows the level where it's like if there was anything about this ownership group and them wanting to like have some standards, if they like say Maresca gets sacked and say the sporting directors get sacked as well, Campos would be immediately through the door as long as providing he wanted to join. If not, by the way, your next best option in Berta has already gone to another club in London. That's one you could have got there that would have been a success, and you decided not to do that. He's gone. Outside of him, maybe I know Monchi would never leave. He loves working with Emery. Yeah, cool. I don't know who else you go and get this top, but you've fucked it basically. So do whatever. In terms of managers,
or something like that.
maybe Rui Costa. In terms of managers, immediately we would be linked with Immediately our targets would be probably Ancelotti a return, even though I wouldn't do that. Xabi Alonso, because I think he does leave this summer personally. And then maybe like an outsider of like Inzaghi potentially.
It's gonna be Cesc, and we're going to ruin him.
I was gonna say we're gonna be linked with Cesc, we're gonna be linked with Frank again, maybe McKenna again, or maybe Scott Parker this time when he gets promoted from the Championship. And then we probably end up with Cesc after a year at Como.
I actually like Scott Parker. I actually like Scott Parker, but I don't want that to happen either. It's
like I said earlier, it's time is a flat circle. It's the same shit, and nothing will change until the penny drops for them. Like nothing's gonna change, and the issue is like, because I said this on Lewis's channel earlier, these sporting directors will never get sacked. They have already got to the point where they should have been sacked. The fact that we have had the last two windows we've had this season is a sackable offense. That's already they've basically done the worst. Like that January window is the worst window they could have possibly had.
The last one, right?
Yeah, that's the worst window you could have had as a sporting director, and they're not sacked. Yeah. They haven't been sacked for it, and there's no indication they'll be sacked to the end of the season. So they're going to be here for the foreseeable. So the only hope we have. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say the pattern. No, if you finish, mate. You finish.
I'll just say the best case scenario you've got with this squad is going to get Campos and let him do the Vivell thing. And I understand, I know what Prime's going to say because he said this before, and I understand there might be issues if he might walk because of all the nonsense, but like that's best case scenario for us at the moment. With forget the manager, I'm just talking sporting directors. That's the best case scenario. Is you get someone to work over them that can rein in the bullshit and get them to focus on the right thing.
Scott, as much as I said what I said on Lewis's channel, I think someone responded back to me like they might be right. Bringing in a Campos who, like, everyone agrees he's like probably the elite of the elite when it comes to
he's the
being
best
a director of football. If we bring in Campos and this guy walks within a few months, maybe that's enough to wake up this fan base of what's actually going on.
No, the fan base. No, the fan base. No, the fan base are awake. They're just lazy. That's what they are. They're just lazy.
I don't think they're truly awake, bro.
Because that would have been halftime today. Would have been perfect time to do a protest or do some type of thing today. But instead, they just went down and got another drink.
You know, I was going to say that.
But I know the pattern of these sporting directors. I know the pattern of these transfer windows now, and you can check it out. From the first one they had, you buy 2 recognizable names that everyone likes, and the rest are mediocre and non-names. First transfer window, Enzo Fernandez, João Felix. 2 recognizable names. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you look at every other transfer after that? The summer transfer window, that's summer 23. Caicedo Lavia. Right? Didn't do anything in January. And then last summer, Sancho Neto. That's what it is. So look out for 2 names you know about, and you'll get freaked over that will glaze everything and gloss over everything out this summer. Yeah, that you'll go, ooh, and then you'll forget about all the fucking other shit that we saying. That'll make you go,
you're not wrong.
Who's 4th or 3rd or something like that.
Gay Garnacho.
There'll be 2 signings.
There you go, guys.
Two big names.
How was Garnacho a good signing?
I didn't say good. Recognized name.
Surfer, is there going to be
Is it going to be Delap Guehi or Osimhen Guehi?
I don't know. It'll be one of them. It'll be one of them or whoever. Whatever. It'll be who we didn't do.
They're gonna do the Guehi thing.
No,
you know what we tried to do with Lukaku of the
Yeah,
prodigal son returns home. That's what they're gonna do with Guehi, bro. They're gonna make it emotional. Oh my god.
No, I can't lie. I genuinely think they're just gonna do the three I mentioned earlier, and because I think they'll think that the Delap and the Husum ones are the big transfers. I genuinely think they'll think that the Delap and the Husum transfers because they're
I know. I've just realised.
Big transfers.
I just realised they'll use Sancho as the name to sign him through. So that'd be one big name that everyone knows because we'll sign him permanently. So that'd be one. So it's just one name.
Crazy.
Just one name.
Nah, they won't know because people.
Fucking
Sancho
shameless.
isn't.
Fucking
People aren't. People don't like Sancho now. So it's
no. What I'm saying
but he's a big name. It's not about
liking. It's not about liking. It's about
recognize name.
We'll get distracted.
I thought you meant liking the name. Yeah, okay.
No. It's not about. It's just the name itself. Wow. It'll be like a João. Like I said, it was Enzo and João. Then it was Lavia Caicedo. Then this summer, remember before the Neto signing, our transfer window was appalling, to say the least, in recruitment. And then it was, we signed Neto and Sancho. We can do. They can do all this without even signing who we needed to sign. Remember that? Remember after we signed Sancho. Oh man, we've got Neto. We've got the wingers now. We can do this. We can do that. It's all right. We can play.
Yeah.
We can play Nkuku as a number 9. And don't worry, we didn't need Osimhen. We got Nkuku. It's all right. Oh, we can go another year without a goalkeeper getting the Champions League and stuff like that. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Oh, Jorgensen. Stuff like that.
What I will say is though, that's something I did want to point out. And I thought about. At first, with the whole protesting, I thought it was really dumb because I thought the time and place for it, we had just won a game and we were still in top 4 and all this fun stuff. I just thought it wasn't necessarily the right time and place to do it. Now that we've dropped out of it, now that our fixtures are looking harder, now that we're looking at this recruitment, now that we're getting closer to the end of the season, now I feel like it's a better time than ever to have it.
What?
Protest.
Get us Europa League football. You know why I want Europa League next season? It's a better chance of getting the Champions League than the league. I've just realised that right now. Actually, better for us to be in the Europa League because it's a better chance.
Win it,
you know where it's Marshall, though? You know where it's Marshall?
I think we would.
We'll get it. We'll get it if we do the conference league.
Listen, do you know where
it's
it's
conference league? We get it.
You know what the issue is, Marshall, with this protest stuff? The man them have not got the heart for it. The man them ain't got the heart for it, bro. That's the problem.
Ahmed,
no, they're just lazy.
I think the
it is lazy.
I think what they've done. I think what they've done with the protest, I think them protesting like they did and then what has happened since is worse than them just not protesting.
Exactly, yeah.
Because if you didn't protest, then it is whatever, right? You protest once and showed afterwards you don't
just look
care
like rats.
No, I say you showed afterwards you haven't protested again, so you show you don't care enough. So you've just made it so these guys can double down because you showed you don't care enough.
And even then, that's what I'm saying, Scott. Even then, when you protested then, the owners probably looked at the situation and was like, why are they upset? We are in top 4. We're all in this.
It was worse. The owners went like, first of all, your good guy Bodie basically dismissed you and went, fine. and then we signed a fucking 17-year-old Brazilian left back who won't be here until 2026.
Exactly.
They went.
Yeah, I say since that protest, since that protest, we've signed a 16-year-old. I was gonna say since that protest, no, we signed 3 players since that protest.
Well, 2 youngsters, and then
we've signed since that protest happened. Yeah, no, since that protest happened, we signed the 16-year-old left back. We got linked with that Mech kid again. We bought Quenda and we bought a Sugo. Since that protest,
we are the first club to do future transfer. We're the future transfer club. We don't the protest players for the upcoming summer. We
in February.
We are now pre-ordering players.
Depending on
we pre-order players.
Wasn't it
depending on when the protest was, because I can't quite. Depending on when
we
the
won the
protest
game, there was a protest. Maybe it was less than
Southampton. It was Southampton. Yeah. I think depending on when the protest was, we might have even signed that 18-year-old Kazakh kid, like after the protest, depending on when it was.
It was slightly before. It was slightly before.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought it might have been after. I was about to say, we even signed another freaking 17-year-old.
It was Southampton at home.
Yeah, but
remember
like,
what I said to you. Remember what I said to you, right? I said to you this, and I was proven right. That the protest, maybe they would do another protest if somehow we drop points against Southampton. But I said this: as soon as we get back-to-back wins, or like that, because we played, I think, Europa League during that time. As soon as we won those games, nothing after that, nothing since that, nothing from the big account, nothing on Chelsea Twitter, nothing on Chelsea Spaces, nothing on Chelsea YouTube from the big accounts or anything like that. Nothing.
Bro,
nothing at all.
I said I'm not backing this because you're not going to show consistency. If they had protested after against Leicester and Copenhagen and stuff, then I would have backed, because regardless of I don't agree with the mixed messages being done, I would have backed the protest. But the fact that you can't show me consistency,
the problem,
it shows me you don't truly care. You guys are arguing about Bowley. Bowley is not really
nothing to do with it.
You guys are arguing about us being in debt.
Before you go,
you guys are
real
just
quick,
trying to do. You guys are trying to do like photo opportunities and stuff like that, just to build up your social brand. Like you guys don't actually care.
That is true.
Yeah, you'd rather take pictures of other people.
Let's have it right. Taking pictures with an
not just him, just other people there as well. Other people, you'd rather take pictures.
That is true.
And just,
that is very
just
true.
On the telly if it was like that.
You're talking about LB.
And by the way, how many people were actually? This is ironic. I think people were there in this season's Chelsea kit as well, which doesn't make any sense to me.
That's ironic. And that's what I was saying too. Like this season, if you really want to protest, if you really want to make a difference, hit them where it hurts, and it's their pockets. Stop buying the kits. Stop going to the game. And I know we talked about this time. It's not feasible and all that shit. There will be people that will
embarrass them.
It is embarrassing. Exactly.
Continuous embarrassment.
And so,
even if it's 50 people, just continue it to grow.
Going off of what Prime said, the thing about this protest thing too, it's like now is a better time than ever to do it because now you have a reason to. We dropped out of top 4. We're not looking like we're gonna make into UCL. And dude, if we don't win Conference League, there better be a protest after that one, right? But at that point too, it's like come to an agreement that you need to protest the things that are actually feasible. And listen, if Bowley or Igbali ever listen to this, your sporting directors are robbing you blind of money. They're wasting your money. They are getting you a bang average team. They're not recruiting you the best players. They're not negotiating you the best prices. They're not getting you the results you could be getting. Get rid of them. There are other directors out there that are much better and that can probably give you what you want at the same time as, get you in the mold that you want it to be in as well. Like it's.
So I would take. This is going to sound weird, and it shouldn't be because he's a very good recruiter. I'd take Dougie Friedman from Crystal Palace.
He's about to go Saudi Arabia.
He's very good. Yeah. He's very good.
He's about to go Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Did you know what the sad thing is?
He's going Saudi.
He's going
Saudi. The sad thing is, man, I can't wait for the same conversation to be happening again next season, man. That's what it's just going to be. So,
hey, Ahmed, we will be there.
I don't want to be there. I don't think I'll be there, man. Because
I don't think I want to be.
It's because because for me, I am like I don't know about you. I don't know about you guys, but like it is getting like what's it called? Yeah, we're all reaching our limits. You know what I mean? We're all reaching our limits, bro. Whether it be you, Marshall, myself, everyone's reaching that limit, bro. Too. Right? So, and the thing is, what's going to make
I'm past my limit. Limit's go.
See, fair enough, man. But you know what I mean? There's a real line, though. There's a real line. But like, you know what I mean?
No.
But like, the point I'm trying to make, though, is that I want to put into one thing before you let you go, Safa. Next year is the halfway point, of this ownership's like 10-year period, right? Of like, obviously after
5 years.
It'll be 5 years next season.
End of next season, right?
So end of next season, because we're going into 4 now.
You mean
next season we'll be going to 5. That's what I'm saying. It's 5. It's going to be the 5th year essentially that they've been at the club, right? Because they got and they fished the same shit, bro. And it's basically essentially been 5 years at that point.
Did you get our takeover before or after us?
It was
after.
No, our takeover was before you guys.
No, it was
No, it
after.
wasn't. It was
It was
after.
after.
That's what
Well,
the
why
process.
Wait, Steve,
Why is
Steve,
it
how long have you
Aaron-
owners been at your club for? The new owners.
Those were there
November
2021.
2022.
No, 2021.
I thought 2021.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
the 21-22 season. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got.
It was October
22-23,
2021.
22-23, we finished for.
Yeah, it was October
Yeah.
2021.
Our takeover was 2022, no?
Yes, there's
Yeah, so the season after
And when was their takeover?
2021.
2021.
October
okay.
2021.
Okay.
So like
No, but-
6
That's when
months.
Eddie Howe. Wait, that's when Eddie Howe went to Newcastle in December.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe's been at Newcastle for like 3 seasons now.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty
He's
cool
been there
season.
since the takeover.
Yes,
Wow,
this is
yeah.
third full season. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
But
Never mind.
here's the thing, too. In terms of what Ahmed was alluding to with next season, I'll be so real. This season, I'm not Maresca out unless we actually crash out of the conference league. I'll be honest. I feel like he's been given a shit hand to an extent, which, you know, it doesn't excuse him of a few bad performances here and there. There have been those where it's questionable tactics and substitutions and stuff. We've been here, we've analyzed it. But to an extent, I think all of us, if not most of us, can agree that he's also been dealt a kind of shitty hand with the depth that he has not being nearly as good as we thought. There's no backup for Cole Palmer. He has no backup for Guiu is his backup striker, and Kunku's not lived up to scuff. You know, there's been a few of those, right? Next season, I'm expecting this summer that we're going to bolster the squad a bit. It's probably not even going to be ideal because we all know we need to rebuild that defense. We need a striker. We need a goalkeeper. We need a left winger, right? Because we don't know what's happening with Mudryk. He's probably gone. And we need depth in the midfield.
It doesn't matter if he wasn't. He's shit.
Yeah, but and we all know that there's depth coming as well with the future, you know, the potential players now going to be available and likely some of them to stay. So this summer is going to be very telling in terms of this ownership, in terms of the directors and how they build this team out. Next season.
You know why it's not? Because it's already predictable what the summer transfer window is. All right.
Yeah.
Like Scott said, it's those 3 transfers. Probably a name we know that will go ooh like that. There'll be nothing. Like I said, there'll be no. They won't
More
sign
youth
a
signings.
something like that. They won't. They might. I don't know. They'll probably sell Petrovic and continue one of these fucking idiots. In
Oh
goal.
God, if they fucking
something
do
like that. They'll bring Santos. They bring Santos in and not another midfielder.
Esteval.
They won't go. They won't go. They won't. They won't bring in. They won't bring in a. They won't bring in a proper striker. It'll be Delat backing up Jackson and all that shit. I'm just telling you right now. I am not going jumping on a stream during the summer. I am not celebrating any transfer in.
Oh,
I'm not celebrating.
by the way,
any transfer
guys,
because I need to see how they
Esteval-
play first of all, and also I know how they're gonna.
Esteval and what's his name and Paez will be counted as new transfers.
Yes.
Piers is going online, by the way.
No, he's staying.
No, he's going
I bet
online.
he goes. I bet you he goes online.
Strasbourg.
There's already reports of him. There's already reports of him going out
Already
on loan.
training there.
Yeah, and I say if
He's
he's not,
tra- yeah,
if
he's
he's
training
not,
at Strasbourg.
if he's
Yeah,
not
but
going
the
out on
reason why
loan,
he's
there's no
training-
reason
from
to
what's
send him
being-
there to train.
From what's being reported, why he's training there is so he can get used to being in Europe. Because he was
Yeah,
training
no,
here.
no,
Do you really believe that?
Prime. He could do that.
He could do that here.
Yeah, he could do that.
What he did train here.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to go to
Yeah,
Strasbourg.
but no, okay, so why didn't he continue to train at Cobham if he's going to be here next season?
I don't know. Everything's a lot of bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so he's. I guarantee he goes.
I haven't seen anything of him leaving on loan. Is what I'm saying.
There were reports of
sending
him
you
going
out
out on loan earlier on this
And
season.
those reports were but those reports were also squashed. So
But wherever
He'll be at Strasbourg next year.
whether he
I'm
goes on
excited.
loan or not, whether he goes on loan or not, he shouldn't be expected. This is the same with Esteval. Shouldn't be
I agree,
expected of
yeah.
him to be like a savior and something like that. And I never believed for this season. I never believed in the term set up to fail. This season has proved that actually exists for me. They set up this manager and these players to fail with their recruitment and who they hired. They set them up to fail. I'm sorry. And the January transfer window is rubber stamp that for me. Absolutely rubber stamp that for me. There was here we're going to hear this a lot. The word opportunity is going to raise its head again during the summer.
I hate that word now, by the way.
I hate that word. The opportunity. There's opportunities there all the time. You had opportunities there. I swear to God, right? I swear to God, if we do get Champions League football, because the wages will go up apparently, there's no excuse for them not to pay them the wages of an Osimhen or something like that. If we do get Champions League football, they'll find a way. They'll find a way to do it, but there's no reason because other players go up. They go up to over 200 grand and something like that. There's no excuse.
If there's an opportunity to get new directors, I'll take that.
They're not leaving, man.
It's not happening. It's not happening, guys. We need to stop. We need to stop talking about this. It's a dead subject. It's really the dead subject, guys. So say with the owners not going anywhere. You really need to stop talking about it, guys. It's not happening.
But question though. Hold on. Like, let's actually. I'm going to ask a question here and give me a realistic answer. At what? Because their jobs aren't untouchable to directors. At what point, or what do you think is the breaking point for the owners to sack them and get new ones?
There isn't one.
Wow, you really think no matter what?
Well, okay, Marshall. What if they have we not already reached that breaking point?
Last season should have been the breaking point, Marshall.
No.
Don't forget last season. Hold on. With last season, it's their. I'll go to that, Scott. With last season, I can understand not sacking them because a project, you don't see a project through in just one season. With the youth signings that aren't here for now, they're here for the future with that model, right? So last season with Poch, their first actual managerial decision, I don't count Frank Lampard. That was a placeholder manager, whatever. Where their first actual appointment, get one wrong and you're sacked. I think that's more brutal than Roman, in my opinion. So last season, I wouldn't count that. This season, we're going to see with Maresca. But at some point, surely the buck has to stop. Like, okay, you've gone through your third manager, your fourth manager. I've got you this team, that team. These players flop. This is flop.
But here's the thing, why wouldn't the summer recruitment be the final straw? When you go to two clubs with PSR issues, and instead of buying John Duran, you bring back Amari Kellerman. When you go to Leicester, and instead of bringing KDH, you bring the goalkeeper that actually worked with, even if you don't rate him, but you bring the goalkeeper that actually worked with Maresca. Or when you go to a Spanish club that begins with V and go for the goalkeeper, but it's not fucking Valencia, it's fucking Villarreal. Do you know what I mean? Because we could have bought what's his face from Valencia, Marashvili, and he's only 30 million. He might not even stay at Liverpool now. But do you know what I mean? Why wasn't it there? Why wasn't the line there? Because the owners have agreed to this strategy. They're fine with this strategy. They are fine with it. They didn't come up with it. I don't believe they ever came up with this strategy because of the way the summer window went to the January transfer window in 2020 and 2022 to 23. It's a complete flip around. All right. That's what sporting directors are supposed to do. They have a vision, they give the vision to the club, to the owners, and they execute it. Like the owners agree, then they execute it. The owners are fine with it. We heard from it. Egbali, we know is fine with it. Bowley's come out and said he's fine with it. So we can't do the Egbali versus Bowley thing now because they both said they're fine with this. Okay, that's what it is. So this whole talk about getting rid of sporting directors is a waste of oxygen. Complete waste of oxygen because we boil down to the same thing. We want them gone, but they're not going.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
So then I go back to the same thing I went to. And Scott, we've had this discussion. Ahmed, we've had this discussion. Then is it possible that with the way that this model is going, with the lack of UCL football, even with the lack of front of shirt sponsorship, right?
They'll blame Maresca first. It'll be Maresca's fault first. It won't be their guy's fault.
But in the long run, Andrew, what I'm trying to say that in the long run, I'm sure they're trying to make some financial gain out of this. Are they going about it by just recruiting and selling, and that's how they're going to make their profit?
Maybe, or maybe they get whatever the new front of shirt sponsor is, the new TV deal that's coming in.
I was going to say, Marshall, the only hope that we have, and CB said this on Lewis's stream earlier, the only hope we have is the fact that we're playing with private equity money, right? So the only hope we've got that these guys get sacked is a bleak one, by the way, because it means we'd have to be so shit, so bad, that we consistently fail at getting Champions League, we fail at getting a shirt sponsor that is lucrative enough to get them their money back. Like, for us to be in a position where these guys get sacked, we'd have to be worse as a team than we are currently.
You have to have
Do you know how bleak that is? I'd stop watching.
Yeah.
We'd have to be in a position like United are currently in.
Yeah,
And do you know bro, we're getting depressed watching this. I'd stop watching if we got to that position. That's not worth it for me. That's not worth watching this and getting pissed off and getting upset to get to that position. And that's the position we'd have to get in.
Scott, ironically, you could make the argument they're in that position right now. They're sponsored.
Ahmed, we're not in 14. We're not in 14.
No, not in the 14th place one. I'm talking about the situation that we're in right now, for example.
We're still in Europe.
But all of their deals right now that they have delayed, their financial sponsor deal, the potential deal they want for the kits, everything like that is all hinging on us getting UCL football. Remember? That's the thing that we've been reading about.
I don't think it is. I think Europa League.
I agree. It probably is. I think it probably is Champions League.
The best deals are hinging on UCL.
That's what I'm saying, and they want the best deals, right? So,
the reason, but my thing is, Ahmed, is if that's the case, then they're going to be.
Shut up! What excuses? Go ahead.
If this is true, then they're going to be sacked this summer because I don't think we're making Champions League. I think, like I said earlier, I think that's finito. I don't think we're getting the points to keep up with everyone else. Like if Newcastle beat Palace at home, which they should do, they will go 5 points clear of us, I think. They go 5 points clear. Forest are already 4 points clear of us, I think.
No,
4 points clear of us. Oh, they're
5 points clear.
they're 3 points clear.
They lost.
They got better goal difference, or we got better ones. I did look at it. Anyway,
no, I think
you're missing the point. Use your ears.
We have to rely on every other team dropping points to then make up those points, which I don't think we will do. So I don't think we're making Champions League. So for that to come true, Ahmed, they'd have to be sacked this summer, which I don't think they are going to be. And if they're not sacked this summer, then that just proves my point of I don't think there's like we have to get to the depths of hell because we've already got there, like in terms of financially, potentially. Like so.
Do you know what tells me that? You know what tells me they're not being sacked? It's Sugo and Quindy. That's the reason.
They let him make 2 signings.
They made a signing for the summer and they made a signing for a year's time. They're not getting. This is my whole point. We waste our time. Honestly, we waste our time complaining about. Complaining about it's fine, but we then go into they should be sacked. We all know they should be sacked, but we don't have that influence.
Like
sorry. But the fans had a spine and balls, and actually had one message to just forget about changing the ownership because that's the hardest thing to do is to change ownership. We all know that. Change sport director is not hard to do. They actually have that message and focused on because you can do this project better. We've seen Campos do it at PSG, so you can do this project better with a better person. You can do it, right? You can do it. Campos has done it, so you can actually do this.
He's never going to come either.
The fan base actually let me finish. Fucking hell. We don't know that. He might no. What I'm saying is, if the fans actually had one message and continue to protest, which they haven't done, and actually had the one message which just said Paul Winstanley and Stewart out and continue with that throughout the season after the Southampton game, it might make a difference. But they didn't. It's not going to. They're not going. That's why.
Yeah, these guys in their current state, I don't think they're going after him. So that's just the way it is.
Are you a female fish?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Are you a female jellyfish? What it is right now?
Me?
Oh, jelly.
No, this comment, bro.
Oh shit!
Must be a female jellyfish.
Can you just bring up Juju's last comment just quickly? Yeah, brother.
Juju is weird.
Listen, big man. I get what you're saying. That Betis they've had a very good second half of the season. We'll have to wait and see until we get that point, man.
I can't lie. Right now,
I'd say Fiorentina is more of a problem than Betis.
I disagree. I think Betis is more of a problem. But either way, I think if we continue how we played like we did today, we will lose. No. But like, I think we will. I think
I do not like
from a defensive standpoint, like I think if we play how we did against Legia in the second half, we'll win. But like this team is so Jekyll and Hyde at the moment in terms of like Conference League. Even in Conference League, we just had a game against Legia where first half we were crap and it was more the same, and second half we blew them off the pitch. So like, depends which Chelsea wants to turn up in it. But we should get to the final at the very least. At the bare minimum, we're getting to the final. It's just then whether we face your own team.
It makes it so frustrating today because we've done our job midweek, which means we don't have to concentrate this upcoming midweek as much because we've done our. So we had like full focus against last 2 games. Over half this team either didn't play the full 9 minutes or didn't play at all. And
like Andrew, I'm expecting against
Fulham.
I'm expecting our full strength 11, like we basically were anyway. But I'm expecting full strength 11 against Fulham. Like I'm expecting.
If I see Reece James plays Legia Warsaw
no.
leg
If he
and
does,
not Fulham,
I might take a train to Stamford Bridge and run on the pitch of 2 for Maresca. If I see Reece James start against Legia Warsaw, I actually might 2 for Maresca.
This is going to sound so weird. If we beat Fulham next Sunday, I'm going to be pissed.
Wow.
I'm going to be pissed if we beat Fulham. Because we should have won today.
Please explain.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed. I swear to God, I'm going to be pissed because why do we have to do this like hard
emotional roller coaster?
Why do we have to do an emotional roller coaster? I couldn't give a fuck about these guys. You know what I mean? It's like, no. But why do we have to do this like uphill battle sort of thing? It's like it would have been like
being underdogs,
I think people, if we won today and we got a point against Fulham away, I think people would have been more understanding.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Fulham,
not happy, but like
not happy, but you understand Fulham's a hard place to go this season.
Because I'll be real. Even before this game, I expected us to win 2 games for the rest of the season, which was the 2 home games against Ipswich and Fulham. Ipswich and Everton. I expect us to even before this game, I expected us to lose to Fulham. Yeah, if we came away with 4 points from the next 2 games, and then if we came away with 7 points, by the way, from our next 3 games in terms of before this game, so you get 2 wins against Everton and Ipswich and get a draw against Fulham. That's positive for me. That's positive. We got the 2 points I expected to get, the 2 wins, and then we get the point that I didn't expect to get against Fulham. We're now. I don't expect us. I think Everton's probably going to be a 0-0 or a 1-1. I think that's a draw. I think we lose to Fulham as well. And outside of, I genuinely think, and you can call me negative, I genuinely think we get a maximum of like 3 points the rest of the season, and all 3 of those are draws.
You're so negative, Scott.
You know,
I think we draw to Everton.
72 points.
I think we draw to Everton. I think we draw to United, and we maybe eke out a draw against Forest last day of the season, or like Liverpool because they're celebrating the title.
Would you say your hardest game? Would you say your hardest game is away to us?
Yes,
probably. That's the biggest pressure one for sure.
Depends. If Liverpool's already won the league before us, and it looks like they will.
That's not Newcastle's not pressure. We have a very mixed record up there. It's not pressure.
Yeah.
I say there's no games
the pressure was.
We're fighting for a spot, though. I think.
Pressure was today.
All of the games we're playing aren't pressure. It's just like all the teams we're facing. Like even Forest, they're a better team than us, and they're playing at home. The crowd's going to be up for it last game of the season. United, we suck. We've got 2 wins in 15. That's a draw. That's got draw written all over it. Newcastle, again, that's a very good team. We're going away, but like our players will probably piss themselves or something before the game and get scared, and will concede goals or give goals to you because we just like doing that. At Liverpool, even if they are on the beach, I expect them to still. I still expect Liverpool to do something. That's our last 4 games of the season. We're facing it, and we struggled today for whatever reason. Obviously, we created a chance. We struggled to score goals against an Ipswich team who have conceded the 3rd amount of goals in the season. We're about to face an Everton team who have like the 4th best defensive record in the league.
Yeah.
Like I don't see how we score more than 1, and we'll definitely concede. Like I wouldn't be. It's lucky Broja can't score. Actually, we probably give him his first goal of the season. And then Fulham. Like I again, I'm sorry to be negative, but I don't see how if we can't beat Ipswich. I don't understand how we can beat any other team we're facing this season.
Bro,
I don't
football doesn't make sense.
But it's in a way. Like what Andrew said, in a way, I'll be pissed because it's like you couldn't do it. Like, why does it take this? Why does it take like say for example we do beat Fulham away. I'll be happy, yes, but in the same sense I'll be like, so wait, you can go and do this for Fulham, or say for example we take a point off Liverpool. It's like, wait, so you can do this for Liverpool, but you can't fucking do this for Ipswich at home.
That's the thing, though, Scott. That's how I felt when fucking Jadon Sancho scored today. You had that in your locker all season long, and you decide today to whip that out. Pause.
So
it's like these players step up when they feel like stepping up sometimes.
This league and us is so inconsistent that it's very plausible. I don't care what you think. Like, it's very plausible we go there and we snatch a 1-0 win.
Exactly, Andrew. That's the other
That's how
thing.
inconsistent we are. That's how inconsistent we are. Are we going to? Probably not. Beto, it's like, Juju, well, I'm hearing you guys correctly. Yeah, it was pressure because we were expected to win. So that's the pressure. We're not expected to win at Newcastle because of our record. So there's no pressure there. I don't understand that. I don't understand what your problem is, Juju. Sorry, I don't understand what your problem is there, Juju. I don't understand that. You're obviously hard of hearing.
Obviously, this doesn't make it better, but I will say, even when we won the UCL, fucking West Brom does a double on us. From time to time, it happens. It's not an excuse.
By the way, Ipswich didn't do a double because they didn't win. So that's what I mean. This is what you're going with this guy. He doesn't even know what double means.
Football sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Why aren't we mad about today's match? Are you just trolling now, right? You honestly are trolling, or you just have one.
I think you just tuned in because there's like 2.5 hours where we were fucking pissed. I had a 20-minute monologue in the beginning.
Why should we be getting angry?
I was going to say, like,
when he said,
no. Why should we be getting angry though? This is stupid logic.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing I said earlier. I'm not angry. I'm fed up. Like, I'm just accepting this. Like,
what do you want us to do?
We've just
What do you want us to do? I criticised Marshall saying when he said, "Oh, we'll be here for 3.5 hours," and I just looked at the clock, and it's now 3 hours 16 minutes. I don't know what you want us to do. I don't know what you want us to do. Go back to start again. Marshall had about a 20-minute monologue where he expressed his frustrations about this. We expressed our frustrations about this because we're not going, Marusco out, shit, standard.
That's funny.
Like that.
He literally wants us to be on here like,
if you want that, go watch Alex. Go watch Alex at Chelsea Fans TV whore himself out. If you want that, just go do that. Yeah, just go watch him do that.
I'm sorry, Juju. You must be a miserable cunt.
Or watch Eunice talks bollocks and go scream for a racist if you want to do that. You know what I mean?
Juju, I'm sorry to say, real quick, just to address Juju. Juju, welcome to the chat. I haven't seen you here before. I hope you stay because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna ban you. You're gonna be able to speak and say what you want. You know, this is that type of platform. I like going back and forth with people.
Yeah,
what I will say, you must be a miserable cunt because if you think that I am going to revolve my life around Chelsea Football Club and just get upset every single game when we haven't won a UCL and the title, like, come on now. After a while, you're just like, okay, this is clearly being run by clowns. It's clearly being the directors are clearly shit. Like, I've already accepted that we have shit, and until that changes, my expectation is not going to change. We're not going to sit here and be mopey and miserable about it every single day. I got to work with the tangibles I got. And right now, we did this earlier in the stream when Andrew brought it up about not bringing up the directors, and Ahmed brought up some of the players and Prime brought up some of the players. I said the only thing I can talk about that's tangible is who we're going to replace these players with, who are good options.
By the way, can I just make a point? Sorry. Saying we've accepted mediocrity, you haven't watched the stream. Because I don't know, like, honestly, there's been so much we talked about, but I'm just speaking for myself, right? I'm not going to speak for other people.
Mm-hmm.
There is not a single positive I don't think I've mentioned this entire stream. It's nearly 3.5 hours long. I have not mentioned a single positive about this game, our club, the future, or anything. So no, I'm not fucking accepting mediocrity. I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed off.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We said it earlier in the stream, and I'm going to say it for the hard of hearing in the window lickers at the back, right? I'm going to say this to you, right? Don't do that, Steve. That's just wrong what you just did.
That's kind of weird.
You know, that's not going to help. That's not going to help you with any future girlfriends that you want to do something. The technique was all wrong.
If you ask the tour about DMs,
okay, I finally got the therapy I needed. Thank you, Steve.
I would say this. I say this for all you guys who are hard of hearing or just stupid and just like type the same things as you always do about standards and no. Realistic expectations. Okay, said it before previously. We have realistic expectations, not standards. Our standards are high. We have realistic expectations of what this club served to us during the summer and served to us in the January transfer window. Okay, we have realism of what this team can do and what it can't do.
America.
And that's why we're not accepting it, but we understand why this is happening right now because of the realism that's been placed on this team by the owners and the sporting directors. Okay, hope that's clear enough for you. You probably haven't listened to half of what I said. You'll probably repeat something back to me that I didn't say because you're fucking idiots. So, anyone else want to talk?
Yeah, I just wanted to, if you don't mind, if you don't guys don't mind, I was going to say something really like logically. Yeah, I am probably the most pessimistic guy on the stream on a week in week out basis. Well, technically I was last week and the week before on a consistent basis. Yeah, and I get red. I fight Marshall on a week in, almost week out basis. Yeah, about my point of view.
You already got sent off today,
right? If there's one guy here that that makes sure he's heard in terms of how he feels about the club, it's at least myself. Right? Everyone else here does the same. I would argue as well, right? I just think, yeah, at some point, bro, you just can't keep getting angry. At some point, bro, there has to be an acceptance of what is occurring, right? And if you've accepted what's occurring, you then need to find what can we do to change it, right? Yeah. If that's what you feel, that's what you need to do. My problem is, yeah, it's always great to do online outrage. Believe me, bro, getting angry and being mad about something and creating angry about it does a load of wonders for a lot of people. But what it doesn't do is solve the problem, bro.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
It's all willy-nilly bitching and moaning. What are you gonna do about it?
Because for me, yeah, it's all well and good, yeah. That we've got people that are just gonna be doing this from their phone at home, at work, stuff like that, complaining about stuff. But you're not down here in the flipping, what's it called? You're not going to the protests, or you're not doing you're not sorting stuff out to make stuff happen. So for me, it's just like stop bitching and moaning with all due respect, yeah. And let's make something happen. Otherwise, yeah.
Exactly.
Otherwise, do not tell me how I should be feeling. Okay? Because I know how I already feel about the club. My points of view is already clear about this club. Yeah, quite clearly. And I know everyone else's is from what because I'm pretty much doing these guys almost on a week in, week out basis. So I just don't like this stuff, bro. Because it's always good to be in echo chambers, crying and everything like that. But then we need to eventually leave the echo chamber to be able to get stuff done. Otherwise, yeah, all we're just doing is a stupid circle jerk on a consistent basis, round and round and round and round and round. And round. Seriously, that's what you're doing because that's generally what you're doing.
Hey yo,
because you're not solving the issue. All you're just doing, where Chelsea bad.
Yeah,
nothing's changing, bro. Okay.
If you want that, there's Twitter spaces that only do that. You can hang out in those Twitter spaces, literally. I've heard them, and I'm like, I need to get out of here. This is just ridiculous, same thing over and over. There's no analysis here. It's just bitching and moaning.
It's just for me, yeah, it just gets tiring at some point, bro. It does. You have to be tired, of hearing the same shit.
If you want to be,
I want stuff to get solved.
And I'd like to believe most of us are like this. If you want to be an emotionally and mentally healthy person, sometimes you have to step away from the one thing making you miserable, and sometimes you just have to step away from the one action that's making you miserable. At some point, listen. At some point, if you're sick and tired of your physique, if you're sick and tired of being ugly or overweight or whatever the fuck, you go and hit the gym. You go and do something about it, or you're happy with the way you are. That's it. And I'm not saying I'm happy with the way Chelsea is. I'm upset about it. But what do? I go on these streams and I try to think like, okay, why are they doing this? Let's try to understand it. Let's try to see if we can find a solution here. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? What should they do? What shouldn't they do? What do we feel about this signing? What do we feel about this in the future? Who should be hunting? Like, we talk about solutions here all the time. I don't just bitch and moan. I don't just reminisce the past all the time. Oh, Roman this or Roman that or Roman this and Roman that. Like, bro, Marshall, I love Roman.
Marshall, on a week in, week out basis on this stream,
it's exhausting.
Bro, we talk about ways to solve our situations on
Yeah.
a week in and week out situation, bro. Yeah, we try to actually like brainstorm stuff to make stuff happen with, but we at the end of the day also realize
Ozempic too,
what
I
is.
think, yeah.
We also realize there's stuff that we just cannot control, bro. And until that's all it is.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's not accepting of it. It's like just understanding the reality of things and trying to work within that same reality. It really is. Like, I've always been this way. Listen, I live in the United States, man. I know my reality in this country, and I have to work with it. Like, you guys know. I don't want to make this political.
No,
but
no,
it's
no,
like,
but you know what is, Marshall? Eventually, when you keep on doing stuff like this, you know what it becomes? Eventually, it starts becoming like a cult. Become a cult, basically, bro. Right? Because eventually, you're just trying to do stuff. You want the stuff to be prolonged, and you're not solving the issue of why the court's been created.
No, exactly.
Anyone know where David Washington is?
He's in Santos.
Fuck you, man. Fuck you, man.
He's on loan at Santos.
No, he's fucking trolling. God damn it.
No.
Steve.
I'm just tired. I'm tired. My bad, Scott. My bad, bro. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Hey, at least we gave y'all.
Bro, I'll be honest. Ahmed, that wasn't even aimed at you. I just wasn't paying attention, and I thought Steve said something. So that was aimed at Steve. Again,
I said it to Steve 5 times, so we just didn't know what he said.
No, and listen, I agree. We've been struggling as a team, and listen, although, and I'll say this is maybe the one and only positive that I'm gonna say today. In the second half, the performance was there. The results wasn't. That's it. Really it.
By the way, David Washington, by the way, has made 2 sub appearances so far in 3 games.
Oh, lovely!
Ooh, another great signing by this sporting dude. Another fantastic, impactful signing for £17 million or whatever the fuck it was.
I mean,
and Santos has started the season. Of those 3 games, 2 of them are losses.
Santos are probably going to get relegated.
Fantastic.
Maybe.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, unless there's anything else we need to.
3.5 fucking hours, by the way. This is ridiculous.
You know, this is an open door policy, Surfer. Okay.
You bolted. This is like a fucking panic room. You can't get fucking out. This is right.
You know what I should have done? I should have done emergency stream. That's what it should have been.
What
little siren emojis.
What are those other rooms? Not the panic rooms. You know, when you have to work your way out. It's like a puzzle thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Escape room.
Lock rooms. Escape room.
Yeah, let's do what this is. Fucking escape room.
Useful.
Yeah.
I'm putting siren emojis in the title just so people know this is an emergency stream. How about that?
You should do. Just do it for everything. Just put them like others do. Just put emergency stream.
I might as well, to be honest.
Seriously, do it. Just do it. There's Chelsea emergency stream. Even if we win games,
stuck again.
Even if we win games, just do emergency.
Yeah, why not? We have, and listen, I love Lee Gunner, but even him after that Real Madrid win, finding ways to be negative.
Even when they win, even against Madrid, it was an emergency stream. It was.
And that's clearly what the chat wants. That's clearly what Juju wants. Emergency streams. But all right, guys, I'm done here. We're all done here. We're well over the 3-hour mark, which I mean, I guess I expected it because there's so much bullshit to talk about. But yeah, we're gonna raid out to Sarcasm City. I'm pretty sure he's still on. But yeah, guys, copy and paste the raid message. It's right here for you. Let them know where you're coming from. Next time we stream, I don't fucking know, man. Wednesday maybe. Thursday is the game. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I know I haven't done a Casually Chelsea show, but it's because the schedule is ridiculous and it's so hard to fit into.
Do an emergency Casually show.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm gonna be so honest, Marshall, and I don't like. I know you kind of have to do this. Like, what fucking news is there right now? Us being linked with Gittins again or Delap again.
There's stuff I haven't talked about, like the whole Fofana thing. Just stuff, old news, really.
What's there to talk about with Fofana? He's hella injury prone.
Yeah, get rid of
he made Maresca look like a liar, pretty much.
No, he didn't.
He went against medical advice, and now he's out.
Yeah, but he's an idiot. Like, I'll be real. We can talk about it now. He's an idiot. He should be sold in the summer.
I don't want to talk about it now. 3.5
there you
hours.
go. There you go. No, there we go. We've covered it. He's an idiot.
Right,
should have taken the surgery. Has now taken the surgery. Is out for the season. We'll miss the Club World Cup. Should get sold in the summer. Problem solved.
There you go. I don't disagree now.
Oh, I hate this cup.
But yeah. Yeah, well, listen, it is what it is. But yeah, guys, so be on the lookout for that stuff. Hit the bell notification so that you're notified whenever we are going live. Subscribe if you're new here. We have we had a good pop of subscribers today, so thank you guys for, we were stuck on a number for a hot minute there, so we finally broke through that threshold, and hopefully more of you keep coming in. Thank you for smashing that like button. We're 3 away from 70, so if you want to smash that like button so we get to that 70 mark, that'd be amazing, and I'd really appreciate it. Also, we do have links in the description for a lot of people's channels on here, so go ahead and check that out. Their Twitters and all that stuff, the socials in the description. My personal YouTube, as well as my band's music and all that stuff, in my link tree down below. What? Also, yeah, I make music. Yeah, that's partially why I've been so fucking busy. I haven't been able to do these fucking Chelsea shows. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But yeah. So
don't play yourself like that, Marshall. You a badass. Come on, man.
Jack of all trades, a badass at a few things. How about that? But yeah, be sure to check out all that stuff in the description below. Leave a comment, and if you're watching this in the future, let us know if you got to 3 hours and a half, so you watched the whole thing. And then also check out the memberships, 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And if you're a proper casual and higher, you get a shout out at the end of every show. That's going to go out to Daniel, TM127, EE, Dark, Adrian, A. Solomon, and big up to those guys that actually resubscribed as well, like DJ Warren, as well as Daniel today. And yeah, thank you so much, guys. We're going to redirect you over to Sarcasm City. Let them know where you're coming from by copying, pasting the raid message, and we'll see you when we see you. All right? Feel better. I hope this therapy session worked out for you. But as always, have a wonderful night. Stay casual. Peace.